Hello and welcome to the FSL Dota 2 Open 3, which is a tournament for 8 teams, all women. I'm Atomo and joining me is Sophie. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you, Atomo?
I'm doing well, good as well. We had like 2 seconds ago, we were talking about Squid Game, and we're just right into the game. But
Yep.
yeah, we have eight teams here, all women. They're going to be split into two groups, and they'll have a round robin. So everyone's going to play against everyone in those groups. The top two will advance, best of twos, and that's what we're going to be presenting for everyone today. So, do you know any of these teams? Are you familiar with any of them?
Yeah, I've played against some of them before. I think their new name is Marci my waifu, but I think
Yeah.
they're also known as Lugiami, if I'm
Oh
correct.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I played against them before, and I think also either Pacific Pink or Foxy. I'm not so sure. I don't exactly remember because I know those two
Hmm.
teams are really strong. That is all I can remember. But yeah.
I remember I saw Live or Die, which is one of the teams we'll be watching today. Played against was the representative for Sri Lanka. They played against Team Mongolia in another tournament, and they didn't make it, but they looked pretty good in that tournament as well. So
Hmm.
we want to thank the people who make this tournament possible. We have Intel as well as Yahoo who brought this tournament. So thank you guys for making sure it happens. And I love the initiative of having just these women-only tournaments. What
Hmm.
do you think about it?
I mean, it's really awesome because when I played in FSL before, I think it was the Dota 2 Open 1, it's like
Hmm.
really, I don't know what the word is, invigorating. Like it's a very, exciting, uplifting feeling because it's like, girls getting to be
Hmm.
competitive in esports. It really makes you feel empowered. That's the word, empowered. Yep.
So, and did you win FSL, the first one?
Nope, we did not. But we did pretty good considering it was my team's first time to
Oh,
join. So yeah.
so are you thinking of joining the next FSL? Will we be like casting you in the grand finals, or are you gonna be just eliminated before and be like, I'll be there, I'll be there.
Yeah, I think so. I think my competitive career is a bit over. I think I prefer doing, some casting and chatting up with my buddy over here. Yes.
I do the same thing. I'm like this one,
I
like
know.
no,
I'm
it's
like,
this one, it's
this,
this
this.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the thing about what you said about competing. Is like once you hit 22, you're past your peak. You can't play
Yeah.
competitive gaming
Hmm.
anymore. You're like
Yeah.
old now.
I
It
mean,
makes me think.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, it makes me think
It's
about OG's new team. It's built around two 16-year-olds, and I'm thinking, oh my god, when they were 16. Well, I want to talk about my age, but I was definitely not. When I was
yeah.
16, I was just mowing the lawn trying to get money for cyber cafes, and they're competing at like TI soon.
I know it's crazy, and Team Spirit is also a lot of them are really young, aren't they? Weren't they like the youngest
Mm.
team at TI this year, and they
Yotaro was like
brought it
18.
home?
They have another player who's like 19. So it was just a
Yeah.
very, and well, but who cares about them? We don't care about them. They're not women. We don't care about anything that's not FSL. We don't care about that.
Right, right. This is the Women's Day. This is FSL. We're here to celebrate our females and watch them just battle it out. Just
So I was
ready to
looking at
watch
some,
them.
I was looking at some of the teams. And I know that an awkward name, but Stepsis is a very strong team. I believe that
Oh.
they have like one of their players like top 2,000 in Southeast
Oh,
Asia.
wow.
So that's one of the teams you're going to have to be worried about. You mentioned
Hmm.
Marci my waifu, which is the representative for Singapore at GEG. So they're another team that you're going to be like a little bit worried about. What else? Live to Dive, which is we talked about was the Sri Lankan team. So I think that these are we'll be watching a lot of these teams today. There are going to be other matches, which unfortunately we're not going to be broadcast, but you can watch it through the client.
Hmm. Yeah. It's
Uh-huh,
going to be really
yeah.
exciting. And I think everyone gets strapped in because we're gonna go crazy here, We're going to have some fun
Uh,
casting some good Dota.
what do you think of the meta so far? It seems like the 7.330E is kind of like very open. Seems like almost anything works. Is that
Hmm.
the same impression you have?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like right now it's kind of a weird spot because I mean, also in my pubs, it's like it just feels like a bunch of animals. Like people are trying
Oh
some
God.
weird things. Like it's going really crazy. I think also because Ti kind of inspired a lot of people to get back to Dota again. So
Yeah.
everyone's kind of in this place where there's like, oh, let me try this hero as safe lane. Let me try this hero as off lane. Like I've seen some weird stuff, but it's good because everyone's trying to just get comfortable with the meta. Everyone's kind of experimenting. But last meta I found like kind of particularly boring. It was just
Yeah.
a lot of tiny,
Hmm.
and a lot of like the same things over and over again. Some slark, it wasn't as interesting I think as previous metas. So I kind of appreciate the circus going on in Dota right now. Yeah.
I agree. I like it the same way. And you were mentioning about the previous meta, which was the tiny one, where we saw,
Mm-hmm.
just tiny silver edge, and that's it. They would,
Right.
every game, and you're like, oh, great, we're doing this again. But now we have a different problem, which is the carry. You load up the game, you're in your
Mm-hmm.
Archon 2, suddenly your carry's mode Yatoro, and you're like, oh god, not this
Oh
one.
no! All the
I
map
met
just
him.
collapses.
I met these two 3 games ago, and we lost.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that's Dota right now. But I do think that it is very diverse. We saw a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
like very meta heroes in TI got nerfed. Monkey King got nerfed. Tiny got nerfed. Medusa got
Mm-hmm.
nerfed. Even Morphling I think also got nerfed. So quite a bit nerfs. And then we saw Drow Ranger get a nice buff. So it seems like everyone's sort of evening out. And I like it. I like when Dota's at this sort of stage where everything's viable.
Right, right. It makes it
Except
exciting.
except Spiritbreaker. He's not viable. He
Oh
was
my
the,
god.
he's not. He's the only hero ignored in the regional leagues and in TI10. The only hero. People looked at Spiritbreaker and they're like, no techies. I'd rather have techies than that.
But Spirit Breaker is so crazy. I feel like people, underestimate the power of the breaker.
Mm.
It's just the most annoying when you just see nothing and suddenly feel everything. You just Spirit Breaker with a Shadow Blade coming at you full force, and that's it. You just pray to Gaben. What else can you do?
The thing is, it's like I feel like there's this concept where some heroes are really good in pubs, but they're not. They don't translate
Oh,
into the
that's
professional
true.
scene because
Definitely true.
when you're picking Spirit Breaker and you're charging, from the fountain all the way in a straight line to the enemy, no one calls it out, no one pings, no one says anything. But in
Right.
pro games, like the moment he passes by a ward, everyone knows. So there's no way you get those long range charges. So
Right.
it's
That's
like
very true.
I feel like it's the same thing with Bounty Hunter, who in a
Mhm.
pub is really good. You track people, you get all that bonus gold. But in competitive, when you look at the hero, he doesn't actually provide much by himself.
Mhm.
So he's a pub star, but in pro, it's like, he's nothing.
Yeah, that's actually so true, and that's why I think these competitive games and like team, actual tournaments are very interesting because you get to see cool things that people have prepared if they've been scrimming prior. Like you get to see cool combos, like
Hmm.
Mars Snapfire or like Tide and someone else that you can wombo combo with. It's just so fun to see them all happen,
Yeah.
and it's so like wow, 5-man Echo Slam, 5-man RP, like it's so crazy. And that's what I love to see when it's like seeing really good quality Dota is you can see like all of the hard work just like
Hmm.
unravel in that one team fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, right? If you can see these big ultimates, they're really cool. I was watching some of these old videos. Did you know that TI 10? They had the opening video. Everyone saw the thing with the Aegis where they passed the Aegis on to everyone else, but there's also they had these scenes of little like in-game scenes where like some heroes were fighting each other, and there was a game from every TI being brought, and one of them was Dendy's very famous when he was the Rubik and he stole the Titan to Ravage in TI2 and he made this big ultimate. So there's all these references which are really cool. So it's amazing to see all this stuff.
Right, yeah. I don't know.
Huh.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, well, one of the heroes that I think is really cool in pro scene, but is not a pub hero at all, is Lion. Whenever you see Lion in pro scenes, he blinks in, hexes, and his whole team just jumps on the person. I pick Lion, I blink in, my team TP's back home. It's like guys, don't. It's like guys, I got the Terrorblade. He's by himself, and you just fight 3 of them, back in the fountain. Like, you what Terrorblade? No, I don't want to fight that.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean, and it's such a strong hero because I mean,
Hmm.
also with the shard, like if you're against like whenever I play Lion and I'm playing against Leshrac, I'm just like, hey, I can suck all your mana, you can't do anything to me, or like same deal with like Storm Spirit and stuff. It's just such a strong hero because you have that hex where literally they can't
Yeah.
do anything, and you also have a stun, so that's 2 disables already.
Hmm.
And then you got this massive Finger of Death where you can just stack a bunch of damage onto, and it's unlimited possibilities.
See, I feel like you're part of the problem because you don't. When you play as Lion,
Oh no.
you shouldn't be thinking about stacking finger damage. I bet you're one of the people who's like, the guy's got 200 HP. I guess I'll finger him. I guess I'll kill him. And then when you have like 3 people beating on him,
Yep,
because
I will admit to doing that. Yep.
and then when he dies, you're like 160 seconds without the ultimate. And then another fight happens, and you're like, if I had ultimate right now, I would have changed the whole world.
Yep. That is, I've definitely been in that situation a couple of times. I mean, there's some games, it's like Sherwin. You get a bit greedy here, You may want to just, try to get as much damage on your finger, buy an Axe, maybe a Kaya, I don't know, just experimenting. Don't shame me for it.
And if it doesn't work, it's not my fault.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
My allies couldn't make enough space for my position 5
Oh.
line to get, agonyms.
Yep, definitely.
By the way, for people who are wondering and saying, I love this whenever we have a tournament, the viewers will be like, start the game, like we're holding them back. But the lobby is actually not ready yet. The moment it's ready, we will go straight into the game for your viewing pleasure. We don't even like talking to each other. We're just forced to because the game is not ready yet.
Yep, it's weird.
It's like, we met each other. But yeah, so that's Dota 2 for right now. Are you watching any of the regional leagues, the DPC season?
Not currently. I will be though soon.
All right, cool. That'll be something to be excited about. I'm into especially Southeast Asia with Talon. I think they made it through to to the Division 2. That's gonna be kind of exciting to watch. Watching players from all over the world sort of travel to different regions to compete is kind of like it's exciting. Leslau from Alliance, he used to be in South America, now then North America. Now he's in Europe. It's like it feels so global. The Dota's like I just go to another country and play Dota right there.
Yeah, it makes it feel like like esports is really going like up another level because that's something that you see frequently in I guess what would you call it, regular sports, like athletic bodily sports, but with esports it's nice to see that it's really going big and it's being normalized too. I think before it was like at least a couple years ago how weird it would be when like you're doing esports, like what does it mean, is it really anything to be proud of? But now it's like it's a big deal. The cool kids in school are playing all the video games.
Now the cool kids are like, yeah man, I'm divine. There you go. That's where I'm at.
Yep.
We should be starting the game momentarily. It looks like the lobby actually failed, so that's going to be a little bit of an unfortunate situation to be in. We're just going to have to drag this a little bit longer. So you said you're a big fan of anime. What anime would you recommend for people who don't watch it?
Jujutsu Kaisen. Actually, if you're like starting anime for the first time, I think One Punch Man is really good because it's just very basic. Like the story is basic, it's easy to understand. Just some OP guy who just punches everything, I guess. But if you, get into it, Jujutsu Kaisen is my current favorite.
Why do you mention One Punch Man? Does anything here remind you of him? Is there something on the screen that reminds you of One Punch Man? Is that what you're saying? But I don't quite agree with you that One Punch Man is the best entry anime because when you start it, it has way too many like references to tropes being very popular. If you get it, it's hilarious. If you don't get it, it's your first time watching. You're like, this is very exaggerated.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. What would you recommend?
I guess it depends on whether you like something very serious or like the dark stuff. I think Fate Zero is really good in that.
Really?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
I've never seen it yet, but it's definitely one that like my cousin always recommends to me, so I will plan on seeing that one.
He has excellent taste if they recommend it.
Yeah.
But I have seen Jujutsu Kaisen, and I like it quite a bit. I thought that it was it's shonen-y, but also has very gothic demon and curses, and I'm like that's supernatural and it's really cool.
Yep. I always keep my little Gojo to protect me,
Oh. I heard I think that guy's gonna do a lot of things in like the next season or something. It's super weird when the story begins and like this guy can just beat the whole world. I'm like, well, I'm glad he's on our side.
Yeah, I've read the manga, so it's going to be very, very exciting. I can't wait to see like everything being animated. I think that's the most exciting about like reading manga is like just what's going to happen. So I guess it's the story's not going to be like super exciting, but seeing everything animated and with color and just all the action happening
with the music.
Yeah, with the music.
Especially the music. I always feel like when they have really good music, it makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
All right, there is a new lobby, but I guess we'll go join it. Sure, why not? And again, sorry everyone for the delay because we are having issues getting everyone into the lobby and starting the game on time. It's not really in our hand, but since we're having all these issues, we're going to make sure they're sorted out. We're going to take a few minutes break and we'll come back. Hopefully we'll be in the lobby and we'll be in the drafting stage. So thank you all for your patience and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right, we are back here with the lobby, and I have to say something I find very interesting is that
The
Terminator
Dire
has
team
used
ban.
almost their entire reserve time on just the first stage of bans. I find that that's kind of new. You jinx the enemy by taking forever to ban. Anyway, it is the Tidehunter and the Dawnbreaker. Tidehunter, I saw him recently, and
10
I'm trying to remember the name of the tournament exactly, but saw him on Monday. And he was being played by in this like national tournament. It was like Philippines versus Thailand, and Thailand won because they were able to abuse Tidehunter as a position 3. They were able to get him in the last 3 games of the best of 5 finals, and they just went refresher orb. They just get refresher orb on Tidehunter, double ravage, and they just crushed the game. So taking him out early on, they start with the Sand King. What do you think about opening with the Sand King? Rubik, there you go.
I think, I would say I'm quite a Sand King spammer myself, so I think it's a pretty good hero to start with, especially because I don't really see how exactly you could counter it so easily. It's very consistent. Also, you have the Sandstorm that does damage over time with that increased radius is also really strong for team fights, because you can just be sitting there, and if no one has detection or you manage to purge it off with like a Lotus or a Yule's, you're just going to be sitting there for a long time stunning people, and they're never going to find you, I guess. So
yeah, I like Sun King as well, but I do think they could have taken the maybe in the second pick instead of the first, because you saw that they picked Sand King. I don't know if Marci, my wife, was already going to pick Rubik no matter what, but he is a pretty good hero to have against the Sand King. The stun you steal is really good.
That is true.
It gives you both an escape as well as an offensive ability, and of course it lasts longer because Rubik, he is that the Grand Magus, and there you go. Night Stalker comes out, so pretty solid in the off lane. Right now with the Night Stalker as well as the Rubik, decent nuke damage. Night Stalker goes in. Rubik has a good person to steal from. So I like the opening from Marci, my waifu.
Yes, I'm a big fan of the Night Stalker pick. Also a Night Stalker spammer, and I've seen Bings play Night Stalker, and she is good with it, let me say. She's very strong. And it's just also, all the buffs from this patch of Night Stalker, from what was the last patch where they really changed it a lot with the increased duration of the ulti? That made Night Stalker really strong.
Wasn't it? I think it was reduced by like 5 seconds or something. 10 seconds or the cooldown was increased in the current patch. Either way, Terminator, they're going with a very strong laning stage. Lena's very flexible. We can see her as a 2, we can see her as a position 4. I'm kind of feeling like it might be a Lena Sand King. Like they might flex it later, but you got double stuns, you got a lot of good damage. She works really well with the Sandstorm, because like Sand King stuns, Lena stuns, and you take all the Sandstorm damage. But if Night Stalker gets on either of these heroes, that's a tough situation to be in.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, and it's nice because Lena also, she's a very nice 4 to play with because her base damage is pretty high. If you're playing it as a support, you're just getting whacked as a pause 1 by this Lena. And the attack range is also insanely huge as well. So you're just going to be quite in trouble. You're going to need your support to keep funneling you salves and tangos.
Which is always fun to do, right?
Is it though?
When you're playing and you're like Disruptor and Morphling jumps in, loses all his life. He's like, give me your salve, you give him 1. Buy me another,
I know.
All right, Daddy, I'll get you another one. Just don't be mad at me. But we are having interesting ban. I like the ban from Terminator with the Life Stealer. I think they don't want to play against anything with magic immunity, so maybe Juggernaut might be banned as well. When you have all these stuns, you don't want any of them to be dodged. So Life Stealer is a good ban for that, and as well as the Legion Commander just to remove it. So Terminator, I feel like they know what they're doing with the picks. The bans are taking a while for them though, and this is Marci's ban though, and they're taking a while as well.
Yeah, I was really hoping to see maybe some Dawnbreaker support, because I find it really interesting, seeing these new heroes be played competitively. Because I feel like since they're so new, we haven't really seen them to their fullest potential, I would say.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting to see what different things we can do with it.
Team ban.
Terminator, they could go with a position 5 Abaddon or a position 5 like Omni-Knight for the Dispel. That's something I think they really should. I'm not saying they should consider, but that's something that they could be thinking about, saying like, all right, this is a pretty tough lane. We want a 5 that has some sort of save potential, because if you get a heal, it might not be enough against all the burst damage.
Yeah, they have that Medusa ban as well, which is really good because it's just a very strong hero in general. You leave it alone for 20 minutes and it's just like a raid boss, It's Medusa against the world, so I think it's a good ban for them also.
I think if you leave Medusa alone for 20 minutes, I think you're doing something wrong.
Oh, definitely.
Guys, let's go and actually find Medusa. Nah, She will be fine. What can she do? But Marci, my waifu, what do they have position? They have. They probably want another support, the carry and as well as the mid. It does feel to me like they might want to go for something defensive just to protect their carry, whoever it may be.
Mm-hmm. What would you predict would come out right now?
Remaining.
I mean, like Abaddon or Omni, both are pretty suitable. Omnite is not as good as he used to be because Heavenly Grace is now dispellable, and so is his ultimate. So it's like he's got two things that are dispellable. But Abaddon is pretty good. Low cooldown on his shield, meaning that he can be able to disrupt a lot of these stuns. And you don't really want to burst him down because you just can't with his ultimate. But Marci, they are thinking about it. It's like you have to decide, am I going defensive or am I going to go offensive? Because they do have the Night Stalker and the Rubik, and these heroes definitely want to be like aggressive, playing on the enemy side, taking these kills. They both kind of low cooldown, especially Night Stalker at night. Low cooldown heroes with no real downtime, so they just want to be sort of fighting a lot. And who are they going to go with? They go with the War. All right, so they're only going to go with the heal.
I think Warlock's a very interesting pick. Personally, it's not my favorite, support to go because the cooldown of your ulti is so long and it's just such a slow hero. You kind of just heal, stand there, and your skills are, I wouldn't say your skills are very low cooldown either. I mean, it's not like Lion how your skills are 7 seconds cooldown around that. I think it's a bit longer for Warlock. So, and you're really hoping that your ults land here. So I hope nothing is ever botched.
But one thing, it does give them the lane sustain that they might be thinking about. Like during the first couple levels, maybe there's not enough burst damage from the Sand King of the Lena, so the Warlock heal would be very useful.
That is true.
Terminator going with the Spectre. So Spectre allows them to actually find both the Warlock and the Rubik Corp. Kind of squishy. I wouldn't say Warlock is exactly so. He's got like 3 strength gain, which is crazy when you think about it. And he's got his heal, so I don't think the Spectre will be able to burst him down too easily. But there we go. All right, so the position, like the Lena is like, is it going to be a 2 or a 4? It's very, like that's all that the ambiguity there. But yeah, Marci, my wife with the Warlock. I don't like that it's such a long cooldown ultimate. It does feel like their other 2 heroes are always ready to fight.
Yeah.
But it does give them the sustain in the lane to sort of, if you're up against the Lena Sand King, you pick a decent carry. Warlock should be enough to keep them alive. Should be, but
we'll have to see on that.
We'll have to see, right?
It's also that ogre pick is pretty good. You have another stuns. I think the more stuns, the merrier, in my opinion, in Dota.
Oh wow, that is not what I thought they were going to go with at all. That is, I'm not sure I like this Clinks pick. It is like if you get like you have another sort of squishy hero. Night Stalker can go in, yes, and Clinks once he gets his ultimate off, like there's downtime where when he has the ultimate he's pretty good. When he doesn't, he can burst him down. But Spectre can find him. Like Spectre, she presses R and there she has a lot of targets. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm not feeling the Clinks picks.
Yeah, so what I was saying with the more stuns, the merrier. It looks like Marci, my waifu, doesn't really have any stuns. So I think it's going to be kind of tough for them to, get these quick pick-off kills. Especially when, all of the heroes on Radiant currently on Terminator, they're all pretty chonky.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, the Clinks doesn't really want to build the Silver Edge. You look at like who's going to get break on Marci, my wife. No one really wants to get break on that team.
You could build it on Night Stalker.
I guess, but usually you see Night Stalker getting something like the BKB, the Aghanims, the Blink Daggers, so you can be. And you can't. I don't think you can build your team all around like countering one person. It has to be one person's job to bring down the Spectre.
Definitely.
So we'll see what they're going to go with. And I do like the Ogre Magi pick because up against the Night Stalker and the Rubik, you kind of want someone who's who can take a few hits. And Ogre Magi is definitely a position 5 who can do that.
Very true. Also, you think about a bloodlusted Lena, and I already am shaken. It is horrifying. If that is a 2 Lena.
Right, I was thinking the same thing. Like, because if it's a position 4 Lena, you really couldn't give a damn. You're like,
yeah.
I guess she's tickling me faster, and there you go.
Oh, so it is a 4 Lena.
All right, there we go. So it's going to be the Kunkka mid and another very chunky hero who also buffs up everyone else. I really like the Terminator's draft so far.
I do too, yeah. They're looking very strong.
Like, their downtime is a bit lower. Yeah, they have the Haunt and the Epicenter, which take a while, but Kunkka, Lena, Ogre Magi are generally almost always ready to go. Whereas Marci, my wife, it feels like Warlock really relies on the ultimate, or he's not as impressive, and they go with the Timber.
You may now select your heroes.
That's a Timber mid then.
Right?
Find
I
that a
mean,
very interesting pick. I mean I don't know. I just haven't seen Timber work that well for really anyone
hmm.
currently. I mean, I think it's just a hero that everyone knows how to play against. You know, I mean, you get a Spirit Vessel or, Shivas or whatever. It's just like everyone understands how Timber works.
I also think another thing that made Timbersaw really bad is how strong Silver Edge was, especially in the previous patch. It was like 60 damage, 40 attack speed, and when you break, you also do it like a guaranteed crit with bonus 300 damage or something like that. So Silver Edge was so strong. It's been nerfed, and now it gives you like
10
32
seconds
attack
remaining.
speed, 52 damage, so it's quite a bit less, but it's still a very strong item. So one of the things that makes Timbersaw weak is just the fact that one item in the game is very strong, and that is the Silver Edge. Which Kunkka, he is fine with building. Like there's no problem with Kunkka building a Silver Edge.
Oh, for sure.
Well,
Yeah,
well.
it's gonna be interesting. I mean, right now I definitely am siding with the draft of Terminator. They just look very strong overall.
There's like a lot of good burst magic damage on Terminator's side as well. If they bring down the Timber side, I don't know. Like I feel like Marci and my wife might be the better team, but we'll find out really soon. I don't know. Just to be a contrarian, I'm gonna go with the Dire draft, and we'll see how that's gonna work out.
Okay, sounds good. Ooh, look
That-
at Binks' set. Damn.
Right? See, when you have, by the way, 11,000 games, I'm not gonna be betting against that.
True. Yeah, it's also one of the most exciting things, in my opinion, is when everyone picks their hero
Prepare for
and you see all the
battle.
cosmetics come up. Oh, so fun! So many sparkles.
And then you see someone's like level 30 on Void Spirit, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's not what I wanted to see.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
Just what I needed.
It's really cool seeing their medals per hero because it's just shows you how much you should be scared. I think.
Right? Well, let's see. So it's going to be Warlock and the Clinks. I feel like these two, they can be brought down by the Lina as well as the Sand King. We've said that a bunch of times, but just today, since we are paused, waiting for everyone on the Dire side to be ready. Spectre and Ogre Magi should be farming pretty decently. Like, I don't think the Rubik and the Night Stalker will have enough damage, but they might. It's like if you are out of position, it's going to be a problem for them. And ultra late game, I definitely prefer the Radiant draft. And that Spectre ulti just seems like she just scales. You got Spectre and Lina. Like, who scales better in the position 1, position 2 than this duo?
Right. So true. I mean, late game Spectre is definitely something you never want to face off against.
And of course, this is FSL, so it's all women. So Spectre, Lina, girl power.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
All right, so it's gonna be the guy going mid here on the Lina. Now, who's gonna go up against her is the interesting thing. But you're all right. It's gonna be the Timbersaw mid. I feel like that's something to kind of be annoyed about. With if you're like the thing about Timbersaw mid that makes it a problem is that there's just not that many trees to chain to,
Right.
and they're sort of in the side. They're not in the direction of the tower. So instead of you going towards the enemy, if they want back to their base, you don't go towards them. You sort of go to the side of them, and that's why it makes him like he gets a good amount of golden experience, but he's not able to actually bring people down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one thing I really hope to see is, did you see that clip of
30
RTZ
seconds
when
to
he
battle.
placed the Iron Branch down so the Timbersaw wouldn't get to him? It was very, very cool. Or no, so he would kill the Timbersaw. Yeah, it's interesting when you see people use like these small items like an Iron Branch or just like the little things when people use their neutral items and it makes like a huge impact. Like I love seeing things like that.
Yeah, I remember when Clumsy Net came out, and it was like if you get it on Skywrath Mage, you basically get a free rod of Atos, and you can run with the game. But if you don't, it's like that sucks because you lost 2k gold value because you have to get your own rod of Atos. So, but neutral items in general feel a bit awkward to me because of that. It's like so hit or miss sometimes.
So it looks like that's 3 bounty ruins for Dire side.
I'm already feeling better about the team I picked.
Bounty ruins, they're the game winners, especially the starting ones. Yep.
Well, to be fair, it's also a lot about the team morale. You get
Oh yeah,
none,
that is true.
You get none, the enemy gets all, and you're like, oops, daisy. So So the classic matchup of Kunkka versus Timbersaw mid. Kunkka should be. I think Kunkka should be able to farm pretty easily. I don't think either one of them can really kill the other. One thing that Timbersaw might be annoyed with is sort of when he wants to chain away and you can get X marked.
Not for the likes of you.
So, but like, are they really going to be rotating Belina a lot to the mid lane to help him out? I think they're able to stay top.
I think that Tidebringer is just also a lot of pain, though. I think just laning against the Kunkka in general, you just getting hit by that Tidebringer over and over again. There's nothing you can really do to dodge it besides walk away.
But like Timbersaw has got enough like armor, so I don't think he's gonna be too worried about it. He's got enough armor as well as enough regen, so he's not gonna be worried. But Legaia, she is like going at Xiaoma, just so much damage. And there you go. That'll be another stun. Probably she's gonna be able to land it, or not.
Just getting a couple pokes in.
What I like is how both kind of don't really care. One of them, the guy's got a lot of regen, and Xiaoma is a warlock, so he just heals himself if he gets in trouble. Sorry, herself. Well, bottom lane is going to be the Spectre as well as the Ogre Magi here, pinging out the hard camp, wanting her to pull it. And this is a big creep whip, so it's going to be pushing towards the dire side, and you want to pull, so you're going to send more creeps towards them. And you can see G sort of like trying to make sure they don't go to their side of the creep wave.
I mean, this lane equilibrium is looking really good for dire side right now, because I mean, it's generally what you want to do is you want to keep all the creeps on your tower. It's really easy to last hit as a Night Stalker as well, so just some free farm for her. No contesting really here.
Yeah, but it's a good move here by. Yeah, you can see that. I'm trying to read the name of the Ogre Magi. It's Sasha.
Sasha May.
Stop moving. Pick them again. Like no, that's not moving from you. But yeah, Spectre is doing a good job, and Rubik trying to make sure that she blocks the safe camp at least.
Very. It's always like a thing to find that sentry ward in that camp. It's so frustrating sometimes when they put it in the most like difficult to reach spots, because you just use so much sentries, and as a support, that's valuable money.
My solution to that is always just to put my sentry right in the middle of the camp.
Yeah.
And then I find their sentry, then I remove my sentry, and it's like
such work though.
Right? It's like 10 seconds of me like looking around. And
Yep.
I love when you poke around one tree and it's on the other side. And
Oh
you go
my
all...
God. Yep.
I don't have boots. My feet are sore.
Very true.
Out of all the people who are suffering, it is the Clinks who's actually taking a beating, and Clinks is actually dead. And we did say that there is a lot of burst damage coming out from the Sand King and the Lina. And the Warlock she left her friend hanging, and you can't do that. Not if you're the babysitter.
That is true.
Not so fast.
I like the skill build that the Sand King got. She got 2 in Burst Strike first. I mean, it's a double range lane, so I guess it's kind of a no-brainer, and it's really there's a lot of kill potential, especially when you're laning with Alina. So you can go ahead and level up those Burst Strikes.
Because also you're like the guaranteed stun, so you need the extra range, because you can't, like, Lina might be able to get the stuns land, sometimes, but you are the guaranteed one, so might as well prioritize that. Exactly. But the lane did push a little bit towards the dire side, and Kazel is able to get a little bit of farm to recover. Now even with the Spectre, actually.
It seems Bings is leading in last hits.
She is having a good time. Like Bings, she's got a bracer, she's got that Quelling Blade. That's a lot of bonus damage that she can work with.
She's real thick. And those 5 magic stick charges. Oh, there's a stun. You got the Sandstorm up.
Will they have enough damage? The heal, that's pretty substantial.
Yep. That's what you were talking about, the heal. It's like, don't care. I'm Warlock. I can just heal myself. Can't die.
Yeah, but the Fatal Boss, now that's what you care about. You can see like Legaia lost so much HP because of that. And that's what Warlock does. It's like a very lane stable hero. Doesn't actually get you any kills, but stabilizes the lane, making sure it doesn't go crazy. And Mike is the problem. Alright, so 5 minutes in, seems like the Dire, they're sort of leading a little bit in terms of last hits, but Radiant, they did get the first blood. So it's pretty even. We are less than 1k advantage for either team.
Who do you think has more farming potential? Like, which team do you think can farm faster?
Oh,
the missed Burst Strike. What? The landed LSA? The Fatal Bonds are up. The dust is popped. They're using the Sandstorm, the Gaia. And they're just poking at each other. Oh! What? The guy goes down first.
Yeah, I think that if you're Clinks, I imagine you're kind of okay with that. Yeah, you don't want to die, but at least you get the EXP and you come back with full regen, you know? Sometimes when you live, you're like, I kind of wish I died, because now I have to walk back to base or kill myself to an enemy tower. So, yeah, I think it's, in the end, it's sort of even. Clinks did get the EXP, which helps out a lot. And, Minky needs to be a bit careful here, no HP.
But it's nighttime though.
Interesting build on the Ogre, going for the 2 points in Fire Blast and with 1 point in Ignite. Generally speaking, Ignite is kind of the safer skill to take. And
Sasha May going down. It's really like hard playing the lane when it's nighttime against the Night Stalker. It's just, you know, once you get that Q, you just pop a couple mangoes and you just spam that Q and you're taking out people's health instantly. It's best to just actually grab a range up for the lane and I think you'll be totally fine. Oh, the LSA coming off onto Warlock, followed by the Burrow Strike. That is Warlock down.
Yep, Warlock might not be the best hero to have in this situation, but they are able. They do get killed. They lose their Kimka. Sorry, I just stuttered like an idiot. They lost their Kimka mid solo against the Kimka star. That's something to be worried about. There's another stun.
Oh, check it out.
There's another stun.
Oh, but they will not follow up. See, that's what I'm saying, is that the more stuns, the merrier. It's like, what can you really do against all of this? It's just so pain. There's a salve to help out our Kazel Clinks. Ooh, nice cancel of the salve, though, by Ligaya.
Ligaya is on fire. I was thinking that maybe that one of the teams would be sort of like more ahead by this point, because we do know sort of we assume that the Radiant team is a little bit more skilled, but both teams are very close to neck with each other right now. Sorry, the Dire team is a bit more skilled. I like what they went with the safe lanes though. Sand King Lina, it's safe, it's strong, it gets you kills, it secures the lane, shuts down the enemy carry. Like, there's so much nice things about this combo.
Very true. Ooh, Binks is a bit low. She's got that mango though, but will our Rubik funnel her some tangos?
That seems a bit too generous. Rubik wants to get the arcane boots. She's like, girl, I can give you mana or I can give you HP, and I want mana, you know, for both of us.
A lot of kill potential right now, though. In the bottom lane.
Yeah, I'm still surprised by the. I want to check out Ogre Magi. Did she go 2-2 or is she? Okay, she got 2-2.
So that's very interesting.
Yeah, Ignite's usually maxed out. I just find it very odd to see Fire Blast getting more points.
Why do you think that could be? That she got 2 Fire Blasts?
The cooldown does go down by 1 second, and if you are going with this like stun heavy lineup, having multiple points in Fire Blast does give you more burst damage for sure, you know. But Ignite is still the better skill overall. Hits 2 people, does more damage, stacks. That comes with the slow, so it's odd. Maybe if we get any interviews, we can ask them.
Ooh, hee, walking through the mid lane, just taking a stroll, a little map world tour. It looks like she's gonna pop the haste and go top.
She's playing the map tourist role that my Pudge always plays. I'll check this corner, then I'll walk around there. They
missed the Clinks. But I guess we're just gonna get this tower. Oh, Dark Ascension popped onto Night Stalker. She's gonna Q Ligaya. The guy's just gonna get smacked, but Bings did not dodge the LSA. Kazel is just poking at Ligaya. The boat is coming up with the X. Landed perfectly onto our Clinks with the Burst Strike onto our Night Stalker, and the Epicenter is gonna come up. The Epicenter did not get off, and Timbersaw is chaining him with his chakra. He's gonna get chased. He better run. It is looking tough. That is all 5 of them top. Oh my gosh. They're just melting. Bings can go for more. Dark Ascension, still 1 more second. The stun from Ogre Magi. Will they be able to get it? Sasha May looking real chonky. Telekinesis. And there it is. The finishing Fade Bolt.
Oof, that is scary. I mean, you were getting free pop on the Spectre the whole time, but I feel like you would you'd much rather have won the team fight.
Oh, for sure.
That was expensive. Epicenter did not go off for some reason. I think that she took a void at the last second, which starts the channeling all over again. At least it wasn't cancelled like the old days where you just press R and if you stop
that was awful.
That was the worst. So
that was the worst.
At least that part didn't happen. At least it's not, the cooldown isn't cancelled. But other than that, an absolute disaster.
Yeah, they lost 4 heroes for that.
G? She's gonna be fine. She's the only one who's really farming that well for her team at the moment. Well, Kunkka, so Hee making a bit of a recovery.
I love that name, Hee.
Hee, right? Yeah. She killed and booted. Dude.
So we have the urn on Hihi, so she's gonna get that spirit vessel hopefully soon to be able to counter that timber, making fights, I'd say, a lot easier.
And it also does nullify a lot of the healing you get from the warlock, but I guess I wonder if you really want to get spirit vessel when you're sort of behind by more than 1,000, and they are setting up a kill here on G.
G looks like she could be in trouble. The burning barrage maybe gonna come up, but maybe not. The warlock ulti is popped for our Spectre, but the burrow strike is in. We see, and the Epi's gonna come off finally onto 2 heroes. Our Clinks and Warlock both go down. Whoa, DOTA with a double kill. That's big. I mean, that's a safe lane for a safe lane.
Yeah, they were able to. I mean, they got the position 5 as well, like as a nice bonus. So well played for them. And yeah, we'll do that. Love the ultimate. This is what would have happened if she had used the top. Before changing her mind. He is gonna go for that phase boots, which is good. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Spirit Vessel, because on one hand I think it is a good idea to have this game. I just don't know if Kuka's the one you want to get it for. You could get him the silver, like more of a Silver Edge rush, get the break, and that's sort of useful the whole game. If you get Spirit Vessel, Timbersaw gets a Yule Scepter and Octarine Core, which are very common items. You lose a lot of value of the Spirit Vessel. Oh dear.
That's just pop as well as the stun. Dragon save. Spectral Dagger, but the LSA misses, but the Burrow Strike lands. Telekinesis to push, tanking away. Kazel is just walking away. The heal coming out from Warlock, but it is not enough. DOTA going in and getting pulled. But oh my gosh, just 1 HP. The Fatal Bonds might be able to take her down if Timber can catch up.
Radiant's courier.
And they want to kill. Oh,
there's the Fade Bolt.
They got her, and they're good.
Oh, the LSA. Oh, that's a stolen LSA. Alrighty. Whirling death in. That's that's the thing about Ogre. It's just takes so much to kill a pause 5. There's the boat with the X mark and the turret and the LSA back onto the Gaia. This Rubik is doing a lot with its stolen LSA. It's very impressive work here, but it gets dead by the ignite.
It gets dead.
Oh my gosh, it gets dead.
It was a live, now it's a get dead.
It is Englishing hard language,
Yeah, it works out. I mean, it works out pretty well, I think, for the Radiant overall. Timbersaw is going to be a bit of a problem for them, or like as the game goes on, because she does have the hood, and she's going to go for the Octarine Core. So that Spirit Vessel that we talked about, it is coming out at 200 gold, so you'll probably get like 5 minutes of value out of it, where you get the full value, but then the Lotus Orb comes out, and you're like, ah, crap.
Now Timber is pretty fat as well. You've got Timber leading in the network, followed by the Spectre.
By the way, Ogre Magic, I did max out the Fire Blast. It is a 500 damage nuke if you get the multicast off, so that's pretty good. Like that's fine.
Yeah, I guess you do want the nukes against a Timber too. I mean,
I'm guessing if you're the Radiant, you're probably thinking, I do not. Oh, that's a place to ward, but.
Yeah, it's a nice word. Oh, Dark Extension is popped, Burst Strike is popped as well. They use Dust, but he blinks out of his Sandstorm. Binks is chasing with her Silence. The Warlock's ulti is dropped as well. LSA onto the guy, and the boat is there. It does not hit anyone. They're gonna chase this Kunkka down. Kunkka is dying slowly, and DOTA tries to save this Kunkka with a Burst Strike, but it's not enough. The LSA comes out from the Rubik, and it's over. 3 people are just... It's death everywhere. It's quite a lot of fighting, I think. But they're doing a great job playing with the Dark Ascension. I think that's really, good for them that they've been working with that ulti really well and, taking advantage of the timings of Night Stalker.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Magi looks like it should be okay. I guess the double ignite as well as the fire, but the Fire Blast doesn't multicast. That's where all the damage is in the Fire Blast. And maybe she's right. Maybe the ignite isn't so useful once you're up against the Warlock.
Right.
But in that whole fight, Spectre G did not have her haunt. She wasn't able to help them out, and without haunt, it's too risky. The golem dropped down early. Just not worth taking the fight. That LSA.
I know. It's funny because we were talking about how they don't really have stuns on Dire side, but it's looking like Rubik is putting those LSAs to work.
Golem has a stun. That's one of the nice things when you pick like your stun is a rock, and you're like, guys, just give me 2 more minutes and I can stun him again.
Right, 170-second cooldown stun.
Hey, it's an AoE though, so you get stuff
True,
more than one
true.
person.
That is, I like the way you think. Very optimistic.
Spectre is not that far from her Aghanim Scepter, which will give her that global presence wherever a fight happens. She'll be able to join in. Marci. Alright, that's a Spirit
They use the
Vessel.
epicenter as well. Spirit Vessel is taking down this Timbersaw very quickly. Shalma's trying to run away with the little Warlock legs.
Dire's middle tower
Oh.
is under attack.
Wow, really good fight by Radiant.
Uh,
Very
the-
well played.
They had all their abilities, like the Epicenter as well as the Haunt came out. And both teams playing around their cooldowns, like you said, one team has the Dark Ascension as well, the Golem. The other team's got Haunt and Epicenter. And I'd like to see both of them being used at the same time.
For a big grand team fight, yep.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, I
has
think it was
fallen.
really interesting because, I mean, I didn't even really
Radiant's
expect the
bottom
fight going there
tower
because I
is
saw
under
the
attack.
Timber looking a bit confident in mid-lane farming. I mean, I didn't think they could burst him down that fast, but they did. With that Spirit Vessel, they managed to get him down pretty quick.
Radiant's
Yeah, even
bottom
though
tower
she's
is
got the
under
hood,
attack.
she still doesn't have the lowest orb, and she's not gonna have it for like a few more minutes. So that Spirit Vessel it's gonna be probably more value than I thought. To be fair, you know, I thought you're gonna get maybe one kill, but it looks like you might be able to
There's
get
the
more.
Bruce Strike, and there's the X as well with the Dragon Slave. Corn is up as well. The LSA does not hit. Ignite onto Meredy. Will they go for more bings with the Dark Ascension? She does as well. You're gonna chase after the Sand King, and he is gonna go down. The Burning Barrage doesn't do that much damage as it doesn't connect. Meredy, she's getting X again. There's the Torrent, and the Spirit Vessel is doing its work. Will he get the kill from Tiebreaker? The Laguna Blade comes off, and there's the Warlock ulti hitting 3 heroes, it looks. Oh, but another boat is up, and the boat hits, taking out Bings. Wow, and the dust is up again, slowing down that Klings. But the heal is also doing its good work.
Oh, poor Hee.
Ooh, a missed LSA and a missed Torrent. They're gonna keep chasing Kazel. Oh,
I
there's the
swear to
pause.
God, Kunkka had the X mark animation like 3 or 4 times in that fight.
Yeah.
Where she does that thing with her hand, and he's like, it's almost there, and then just doesn't land. So I'm wondering if there's an actual problem because like the pause come maybe like they get like girls, there's a bug. I'm pressing and nothing's happening.
Oh,
Dire's
Mouse.
top tower is
Right?
under
So there we
attack.
go.
We had Mike, then now Mouse.
I imagine like that because if you go back and watch the replay, it feels you could say that Clinks was also juking really well. So she was you have to have the vision the whole time, but it feels like Kunkka was not able to get the X mark. Was doing the animation, but it was just not enough.
I know, it's so frustrating when you see that like arm lift, and then, but you never see the animation of the actual skill. Oh, you're just waiting. Ooh, Dragon Scale, very nice. Oh, question. Does
Yes.
the Tidebringer, everyone hit by the Tidebringer, do you get affected by the Dragon Scale as well?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that some abilities do trigger it. Like I know that Dawnbreaker, if you use the Starbreaker, everyone gets it. But I don't think that it works like that with
Dire's
Tidebringer.
bottom tower
We, we,
is under attack.
we have this handy tooltip. Let's actually see.
Code remains.
I think the tooltip is one of the worst things I've ever seen because half the time it doesn't actually give you the information you need.
Oh, uh-huh.
I remember a little while ago, Necrophos, it didn't tell you that it gave you bonus healing if you killed heroes with Heartstopper.
Oh,
It was,
really?
it was not a tooltip at all.
Oh.
So that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, because that's like a big deal.
That it is a big deal. It's like, oh, you get 6 times more hit. Like you don't know this.
Oh,
I
do you
mean-
see that creep? It's just a 1 health creep. 1 hit.
They're merciful people.
I know. Kind-hearted, definitely. It looks like they might want to go for a team fight though. We have 4 people on
Radiant
Radiant side
are
smoked
scanning.
out. They see the Spectre though. It looks like the Spectre might be in a bit of trouble. Wrong.
She tells you what she
Wrong.
thinks. You're wrong about that.
But see, if the Haunt comes up, will we see a team fight?
Oh, she might be in trouble.
There's the Dark Ascension pop. She is looking like she's getting low. She can't get over that cliff with the Spectral Dragon. She's just gonna go down. The Silent Ascension Bings as well. And Dota's in. Will the epicenter come off? There it is. She's bouncing everywhere, and she gets that Warlock down pretty quick. But the Chakram is killing Dota. Oh, VP and Meredy. Little battle here. We got a little 3v3 going on. Our mid. Gaia with the LSA. Meredy is really low. She's gonna go down, I believe. That Spirit Vessel is doing its work. The Ignite comes out. The slow Hee and the Gaia. They will just burn slowly, and Bings can run away, it seems. She doesn't have a TP yet, but I think she's in the clear. Yeah, she's just gonna walk through those trees.
This Lotus Orb cannot come out early enough for the Timbersaw. You see that she's really suffering. I think we might actually have the tools to get it if she disassembles the Arcane Boots and finishes up. But other than that, like, because she didn't go for the Yules into the Lotus Orb, like those are like an extra 1,300 gold, so it does take a lot of time, bonus time to get it. And the Radiant are there taking full advantage of that. This was a 5 versus 4 fight because G was dead before the rest of the Radiant draft showed up, and Radiant still won it.
That is true. It's interesting because we were talking about how the Spirit Vessel might be a bit risky, right, for the late game, but it is doing its work right now.
Wow. Clinks just hit the Spectre twice, and I think he healed or something. And, it's just like,
Wait, what?
no, it's like she just takes no damage from the Clinks right now. And that might be a problem. You don't have a Silver Edge Maker on the Dire side. It might have to be the Night Stalker. And there you go. Timbersaw does have a Lotus Orb, did disassemble the Arcane Boots. And that is going to make a big difference. Oh, Kazel.
Oh, there's a Dust Pop and the Miss Burrow Strike, and the Ignite is coming off onto Kazel. They're just going to chase this little bone man. Just running away. Will anyone be able to do anything? The Ignite comes out from the Rubik, and the Spectral Dagger, and the LSA connects as well. Burrow Strike. Very nicely done. No need to use the Laguna Blade, but it looks like they're going to go for a bigger fight. We have Dark Ascension. 5 more seconds on cooldown. The X-Mark comes out. Very nice connect with Torrent and the LSA. And the blow. And the Laguna Blade. But the Golem is dropped. They're going to keep chasing for some more. G is going in. She does not see the Warlock anymore. They don't have detection onto it. Rubik is just hiding in the trees. Very good for Radiant. Oh, but oh my god, she went in and she's going for more. She is hungry. That axe is just doing it.
And that's, by the way, this is when you talk about when you saw stuns. The Night Stalker was just a little bit out of, like, in front of her tower. She takes a Fire Blast, she takes a Sand King Burrow Strike, she takes a Light Strike, and she's dead. Because she's just stunned the whole time. Their burst damage, along with their control, is very high on the Radiant side. And Dire, losing, like, they lost Kazel, then they lost Bings, and it's like there's no way you can fight. Then they lost both supports.
Yeah, I mean, it's also really nice for the Kunkka X-Mark. I mean, it's such a consistent way to set up both the Torrent and the LSA together. So it's, you know, it helps because LSA is kind of hard to land sometimes, but you get that for sure X. Like, you know where they're going to be.
Yeah. And, well, it is looking a bit tough if you're a fan of the Dire team right now. Xiaoma doesn't have her ultimate for a while. She's going to go for an early gem. I like this. When you get that early gem, you can also sort of establish map control. It is risky, because if you die, it's gone, and maybe you don't want to rush it at this point, but I feel like teams kind of underrate Gem a little bit. It gives you so much control.
That's very true. I mean, a Gem is pretty good for both teams. I mean, on the other side, you have Clinks, and on one side, you have Sand King, so if you lose that Gem, it could be kind of a turnaround for either team.
It's like it's like almost a 2,000 net worth swing. You know, it's like 1,800. You lose 800, they get. Sorry, you lose 900, they get 900. So it's a lot of value. Clinks doesn't have much in terms of damage. Has the Maelstrom, and is going to go for the BKB next just to stay alive. I like the BKB choice, but then you look at the rest of the team, you're like, where's your damage? Meredy?
Just a cheeky Burrow Strike. I love that, you know? Just gotta put some fear into them.
Make sure she's never too comfortable, you know? We want to see her sweat a little bit.
We've got the BKB onto Kunkka also, so it's fresh, 9 seconds on it, so it's really good. And seems that we are getting BKB built on our Night Stalker as well. I like how she is going straight for the BKB rather than going for the Blink first. I think if you were really stomping, I think maybe that Blink first would be okay, but it's really hard against this lineup because, you know, they've got a lot of spells, a lot of stuns, and a lot of ways to just, you know, get absolutely destroyed. I mean, that Epi in the Sandstorm, you don't want to stand in that. That's just the worst.
Another thing about Night Stalker is that because her silence is an AoE around her, teams can just run opposite directions. And then you're oh, you know, like, oh, well, you know, which poison do I want? I can choose one and get stunned by the other.
Yeah, and it's hard also because, I mean, you have these heroes with, like, pretty big cast range. You have Lina and Ogre, who, I mean, even Ogre as a melee, you really don't need to get anywhere close to a hero to do, like, to do work. You just throw Ignites bajillion times and throw your Fire Blast. Especially he's got that Aether Lens also, so she is out of harm's way.
I like when you keep calling, I did the same thing, by the way, when it's like a Drow Ranger, I'm like, that's a girl. Drow Ranger is girl, she's gonna be she the entire time.
Oh yeah, I know, it's such a struggle.
You know? Oh,
Oh,
there's a
and
hunt.
there's a Han. Very pain onto the Rubik. Fuck it, there's nothing to stop this. I mean, just silence nothing to do. The bow comes out as well with the Laguna Blade and the Golem onto several heroes. But this Timber has fallen very fast, and the Golem has also gone down quickly too. Will they be able to chase for more?
Rubik has the bow, so that will help them if they fight it, but no Golem.
Oh my gosh. It is just so hard being a support against a fat Spectre. You just die instantly. She's got that Orchid, so you know there's really no way to run away. It's not like you can telekinesis her and just TP, you know? You just it's over for you, you know?
It is feeling like the game is really going to the Radiant side. I'm gonna see the what's called the win percentage. I bet it's gonna be like 1,000 in favor of the Radiant. It's at 80%, and
wow,
they love it. They love Spectre, by the way. Whenever Spectre's even equal in farm, they give her like 60% chance because she is just a late game powerhouse. And I mean, you look at the Dyers, like, where are we gonna get any breaks, guys? How are we gonna really shut her down? We have to kill everyone else and hopefully out-heal her some way. One good thing is that if you do get failed bonds on like Spectre or Kunkan, you connect them with their allies. They have so much HP that they probably will kill their allies just with the fatal bonds.
that is very true. Ooh, the Gaia. She's an Invis rune, just walking around.
Dire's bottom tower
Very
is under
sneaky.
attack.
It's really hard for Dire though now because it feels like they're playing really safe. I mean, everyone is practically just hugging the base.
And that's something you don't want with this time of draft. It's kind of like, this is a very feast or famine kind of draft, you know, where it's like Clinks is okay late game, but nothing like a Spectre. Timbersaw doesn't really scale. Night Stalker is also like solid, but not exactly the same as a Sand King.
Ooh, they see him. The Blink stun is out onto the Clinks, and Clinks is going real low. He has the BKB pop. Bings' ult is also giving them that extra vision. The bolt comes out, and the LSA hits the Warlock. This fight is looking really messy. They also have Laguna Blade onto the Rubik, and everyone is just going down. The guy getting a triple kill now. Very impressive and very consistent work done by Ligaya. She is really, you know, being
Dire's
like
middle
the
tower is under
base of
attack.
a lot of these team fights. Are those very good LSAs, consistent damage from the Dragon Blade, and those big nukes from Laguna Blade to take out our Timber Saws and our chunkier carries.
I like how she has like the standard support items. She's got Force Staff, she's got Aether Lines, she's got magic. Like she doesn't have any damage, but she's still getting all these kills off of her team. So
And she's building a BKB next.
I think she has actually the most kills in the game. She's got 7 for her team, tied with the Sand King, who also has 7. So who also she has 7 as well.
Step lively now. Your
Well,
battle is
if
over.
you are Dire, it's like you can't actually split push that well because you're up against Spectre. She presses R, and you're like, oh well, our split push is done.
They're gonna take this Roche, which is a very good idea. I mean, they don't have Haunt, they don't have Epi right now, so they don't really want to fight so much when the other team has their Rock still. And they don't have Dark Sentinel,
Radiant
so.
are scanning.
But it's gonna look like just a free
Dire
Roche.
are scanning.
Looks like it does have the BKB, but it's like you can't jump on the supports because when they have 4 staffs, and at least Linda has a 4 staff, which means that she can just dodge, just walk out of it herself.
Yeah.
And Ogamaja has got the Ghost Scepter. And of course she's bloodlusted, so she was quite fast. You wouldn't think she'd be that fast for... Oh, there you go. We're going to put Ogamaja.
Telekinesis onto Ogre with Fade Bolt and the Timber Chains. A lot of pain coming out. The Ignite and
Dire's
the Fire Blast. Ooh, but the Ogre does not make it out. The Golem is dropped though. Will DOTA go down? G is looking very strong, mighty strong. Our Clink, see, it just doesn't look like he's doing that much damage. I'll say out to Melody, and they will not use 9%. Our Clink just looks like he's lacking a lot of damage, but he's getting that data, so maybe that's gonna turn it around.
I don't know. That's it'll help for sure, but that's one of the problems with Clinks is that this hero, when she starts falling behind on the Clinks, it's a very tough situation because you don't actually contribute anything besides damage for Clinks. Like even Drow has a silence, you know, like Drow.
Oh, that's very true.
But Clinks, you're like, guys, I'll hit them, and you're like, will you kill them? No, but I'll annoy them slightly, you know. And that's really not what you need from the character. When you look at Spectre, Spectre also provides global vision.
X and the Torrent onto our Clinks. Dark Ascension is popped. And Binks is just gonna eat Ligaya, maybe? Possibly. The boat misses. And Binks is just kind of chasing them down. It's kind of hard for her to get anyone though because, I mean, they have 4 staffs, the Yules. Kind of just, you know, fighting right now. And the Burst Strike is onto our Timber, but still to be able to do anything. The 2-man Torrent with the LSA. X mark onto our Spectre, who still has the Aegis.
Yeah, there's a lot of poke and... Oh, that's okay.
Oh! Our Hee is down! It looks like Radiant is gonna want to back out of this fight. It's real grim because they're out of skills here. Jinx is chasing during the daytime, so the Lunar Blade is also used. Oh my gosh! And here's the turnaround that we've been talking about.
Yeah, G is still alive though, and she does have the issue. She's not getting too worried. Can they actually get the kill? Or if it comes out, and Meredy brings her down. That's only the first life though. There's 2 more to go, and where's your Flinks? No damage there, and I think G probably is gonna walk out of there pretty safely. And it's she gets 4 steps in as she's running out. But if you're Dire, that is kind of the fight you were hoping to get.
Yeah, that wasn't bad at all.
The big thing is, of course, you also get so much experience out of that, and that does help you in that next stage. You know, you have level 3 Dark Ascension. Clinks is now level 20, so she gets that extra attack range. All right, that's something.
And the Blink Dagger will be coming up onto our Night Stalker soon as well. Ligaya also almost finishing her BKB. She is pretty fat for a support.
I mean, that's how it usually is. Like if you're Ogre Magi. I think you should dual Midas in this sort of situation. I always do that, you know. I get Ogre Magi. You get Midas in 20 minutes. You're like, guys, don't wait. Now it'll start paying for itself. Right?
I see. Return of investment.
Yeah, let the X4 return. You know, start now. Well, DOTA is what she got. She got the Yule Scepter, the 4-step Blink Dagger. She is providing so much control and in these fights. And I just love the item build. And she's gonna go for the Wind Waker.
Oh, I love that. Wind Waker is such a fun item to buy. And, you know, I mean, it looks like it could be pretty good here. You know, you can save people from the Golem. You can, I guess, save your supports from Night Stalker. I mean, I don't think it is the, like, I think there could be maybe possible, you know, better item choices. But I think it's definitely the most fun, you know, item choice.
It's like when you get the Arcane Blink or the Strength Blink, you're like, this item's way too overpriced, but I really like when I blink and does that sound. I'll get it.
When you blink it with the Strength Blink, it goes boom. Oh, you feel the strength, you know, you feel the power.
You're like, I want to make sure they know I blinked in, you know, I don't want them to ignore me.
Very, very true.
Timbersaw has got the Kaya, so she's doing a significant amount of damage, and Clinks is pretty close to Daedalus. I still think she's gonna have trouble like actually chunking to people, and oh dear.
Blinken by what? Oh, you see the item change. She's gonna go for an Ags now. Get that extra range.
Oh yeah. Well, that's Sand King. Well, no Wind Waker. Do you think she heard us? She's like, well, I'll make it too easy for these guys.
There's our Spectre chasing Flinks. She's got that mini Ags. What? Just TP. I love to, you know, when there's no Basher, no Abyssal, just TP.
It's like when you teleport right in front of a Viper and you're like, haha, screw you.
Oh yeah, good feeling.
You may have ruined my lane. I can still teleport.
Very true, very true.
I love the Kuka Aghanim's, by the way. The water park is going to be very difficult.
Oh, and there's the first strike. The BKB pop just to dodge that. Will they be able to turn it around? They see the Sand King. It looks like that's quite a bit of damage on the case, but the Yule saves himself. He is in. Oh, DOTA is down, and the golems are up. It hits the guy. The guy has the BKB. He's going to try to turn this around. G is actually just melting a lot of damage on the case, but he goes down to the boat by DT. And the water park, we have it, and the epicenter is used as well. Things is going to be in trouble. Anymore, and the Burrow Strike hits onto the Timber Saw, and it's just going to be standing in the sandstorm because the Burrow Sword comes up with the spell, but it's not going to be enough. Beautiful, and that's another triple kill for Ligaya.
I think some of that might go to the Rubik. Minky, she stole the Burrow Strike, She blinked the tree, she lifted the Sand King, but she did not burst strike her right after to kill her.
Tower
And
under attack.
like, I need to go see the replay just to make sure I don't want to accuse the it turns out I'm wrong, but
Are fortified.
I think that could have actually like been a kill for them if she had used her combo, just like use all her spells.
Yeah, if you see the recap, she did have that burrow strike. Might be right there. Wow.
Well, it's like a bit of a costly mistake there, but you never know, right? Like if she had used it, maybe it would have been even worse for them.
Right. Lena's gonna get the axe next, which I think is always a fun buy on Lena. You get that big damage, the pure damage. Very nice. And when they all have BKBs, why not, right?
My favorite part about the Lena Axe is that it doesn't pierce BKB; it slices through BKB. Like
Wow.
no other spell in Dota 2, it goes like they say everything pierces BKB or goes through. This one slices. It slices through it.
What do you think sounds stronger? Do you think a pierce is stronger or a slice?
I think a slice kind of sounds stronger, but it also makes me think of pizza. So I'm kind of like,
What? I was thinking of like slicing. Like in anime when they slice like demons' heads.
yeah.
Thinking of like that. I was like, that sounds cool. But pizza, I mean, that's cool too, I guess.
No, I mean, it's a slice of pizza, right?
That's
how it works. Piercing just feels like just it goes through it. Like I don't know, that doesn't seem like it's much.
Oh.
But Legaia will be slicing people with that
Dark
axe.
Ascension with the Lotus Orb and the BKB popped by Bing. She's chasing the guy, and now she's going after the Ogre, but the Ghost Scepter saves him. The LSA does not connect, and it seems there's a tiny bit of a stalemate here. The X is onto Bing. She does not have BKB anymore. G sees the Warlock, and she's just poking at him. Warlock is down. The Epicenter is about to come off with the Water Park. Very nice connecting of both skills, and it seems very good fight by Radiant. G is going to try to chase for more Wodara. They have the dust. Hazel still has the BKB. Will she be able to do enough damage to Wodara? The Element is not connected. And yes, that is quite a bit of damage. He also taking a lot of damage, and all of Radiant is pretty low. The high ground defense by Clinks. It is time to shine.
Well, when the team comes back, they will have their ultimates available on the Warlock. That's something to work with, and Clinks is starting to chunk people a little bit thanks to that Daedalus.
It is doing its work.
Yeah, I mean it is. Like finally, at least now you can feel like, all right, Clinks is a legitimate threat, but is it enough? Is the question. And tier 4 items are up, so you might, if you're Clinks, you're like, please give me whatever, the Penta Edge, whatever gives me the most damage, because I need the damage right now.
Another Roche taken by Radiant. There's not really a way they can contest this, you think? I mean, they have the golems, but they definitely won't be able to find out.
By the time they reach, it's going to be long gone anyway. Shard is also going to come out here. Who's going to take it is the question. Ogre has a great shard, but they don't give it to the Ogre.
Yeah, the Ogre shard could be good here. The damage absorption from
That's with the
Clink's
Spectre right now. I think they're talking. They're like, should I eat it? Should I not eat it?
Yeah, she's just holding.
She's thinking about it.
Oh, she ate it.
She's a carry player. Of course she's gonna eat it. She's greedy, you know. I just. Do you remember when Royal Jelly came out? And
oh yes.
That was everyone wanted Royal Jelly. Like, give me. They would tell you from across the map. And remember, it wasn't global, so you have to give it to them like within cast range. They have to use it themselves. So you have to walk all the way just to give it to them.
Yep. Those items were kind of crazy when you think about it. I mean, what's that kit? The
repair kit.
Repair kit.
Yeah.
What a crazy item.
Oh no, it wasn't as crazy as the item that gave you an Aghanim Scepter for 3 minutes. That was a tier 2 item. It's like an Aghanim, not shot. I don't know what it was called. But you eat it, and for the next 3 minutes you have an Aghanims. So you get on
what?
Zeus. Yeah, it was like one of the first items.
Oh my god.
Helm of the Undying. That was also a good one.
I definitely don't remember the Ags one, but that sounds absolutely insane.
Oh, you should have seen Helm of the Undying. If you die, you survive for an additional 5 seconds, like Wraith King's ultimate.
Oh wait, yeah. I remember that one. Yep.
So you give it to like Phoenix, and you just you press your egg after you die, and it's like, oh wow. That's...
Wait, if you press your egg after you die, would you come back up again?
I think you reincarnate. I mean, now we can't actually test that now, so you just have to believe me.
Okay, I trust you.
I don't trust me. I'm not even sure, but I'm like, yeah, I think it does. I think you get reborn. You know?
You know what I
Radiant's
miss is the
bottom
mango
tower
tree.
is under attack.
Oh yeah, the mango tree was fun.
It
I
was
like
so
that.
cute.
I like that people
Dyer's
used to use
top
it as a
tower is
ward,
under
so you can
attack.
put it like.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then if you're the enemy, you walk out, they're like, hey, look, mangoes. Someone must have dropped them here.
Yeah, the mango tree was cute.
That was the most interesting part of mango tree is, do I put it in my base and we all get mangoes, or do I put it on a cliff?
Yeah, so true.
Kunkka almost at that level 25. At level 25, Kunkka is just crazy. 3 boats, a water park, and a tidal wave. It is kind of
Look,
crazy.
pop. Dark Ascension is being popped. Trying to run away from our Spectre, who used the axe onto Night Stalker. That axe is really scary. I mean, it's just seems so broken, especially, I mean, imagine just being like, for example, Skyround with how little HP, and you just see a Spectre come out of you, like, out of nowhere. It's just as scary as hearing, like, Lycan's ult, you know, and being a support. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide.
I really enjoyed seeing Lycan's ult being spammed the TI, you know? Especially on Monkey King when he turns into a dog and he jumps like a dog on a tree.
In the
and,
trees.
that was the best thing ever.
That was very cool.
Spectre Hot is used though, and Bings is in trouble.
And they use the X as well, so both Bings does not have a BKB anymore. They drop. Wow, that's a big goal on 3 heroes. And the water park is up as well. But the bullets are bringing to work, and Verity is just stuck. And there is the big Laguna Blade.
The big slice.
Yeah, the big slice. Got right now. Our Rubik is running away Vessel, but our 2 cores and support are chasing after him. LSA taking down Xiao Ma.
Dyer's structures are fortified.
Very well played.
Yeah, it is Kelsey, Kazel, as well as Magic against the world, and
Dyer's
not
middle
likely
tower
that they can
is
hold
under
it by
attack.
themselves. G has just had a stellar game. I kind of thought that she'd suffer a little bit more, but
Dyer's middle tower has
I mean, they just played really well. They just played really well on the losing side.
attack.
Marci, my wife, is suffering a little bit. Oh,
The
more
Burrow
Dota?
strike out, but the epicenter is up right, and the Yules. That was perfect timing from the Yules right after the epi. Hazel looks like she. Oh, yep, there's the stun and the Laguna Blade with that extra cheeky bow.
He has a
Easy as
buyback.
hold.
Yeah.
Wow.
A little bit more on one side than I thought. I mean, we did take 42 minutes, but it never felt like Terminator was not in it. You know, like it seems like they had, all the stun draft worked so well for them. And I'm very impressive to see how they could make it all work like that. The Spectre was able to farm for her timing. He was just saying they're so tanky and they have so many stuns, and that's all Terminator needed to do to win. Marci, my waifu, didn't really have as good a late game. I thought Minky plays really well on the Rubik, but then after a while, just like she wasn't able to contribute anymore. It's a tough game, I think, for the Dire draft.
Yeah, I think Terminator was also just very consistent as working as a team. Like you could tell, like every team fight, they stacked their stunts perfectly, and it was just very coordinated and well. It was good Dota.
I like how if there's this app called Overwolf, do you use it?
Oh yeah, I do.
So I leave notes for players when I play with them, and I'm like, oh crap, I left notes for all the Terminator team because I played with them recently.
Oh, that's
all
fun.
good things. All good things.
That's great. Yeah, that was great. I mean, I think we expected, how it would turn out with the lineup of Terminator. Very strong.
Yeah, the way that they were just able to out tank and out stun, I think that's the biggest thing. It's like you don't have stuns on the other side. It's like Rubik lift and then Golem. And, you don't have anything in between that. It's like Rubik lift or Golem, which was crazy. I did like the Clinks pick at the end. I thought that we were talking about from the draft. We said that Warlock and Clinks were the ones that I thought that I had to do the most important job, which is survive the Sand King and Lena Lane. I was thinking either take something with Magic Immunity like a Juggernaut, or they take something like an Abaddon Omni Knight to keep them alive. And Warlock provides a bit of heal, but it's not even burst heal. It's like heal over time, and you don't care about that. So tough. It's a tough situation for them to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, also, I was really hoping that maybe there would be some kind of comeback at the end, but that was a great game from both teams. They played really well.
That is only game one, though. We are playing a best of 2. We're going to come back again with Terminator versus Marci, my wife. We're going to take a short break, and we'll see you guys back when the game is ready. And we are back with game two between Marci and versus Marci my wife versus Terminator for the Dota 2 Open FSL Season 3. I'm Atomo, and here's Sophie. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Very excited to see this next game. I really want to see like a even-sided battle. I feel like last game was a bit sided towards Terminator because as we were talking about, their draft was just really strong and they played really well. So I'd like to see some fight from Marci, my waifu.
And actually, we have the draft ready. We are about like halfway through the first level of pick
5
phase. And let's see. And there
remaining.
you go. Terminator banning the same heroes, which is the Tidehunter as well as the Dawnbreaker. Whereas Marci, my wife, was saying, no. We don't like the Sand King and the Spectre in game one. We're gonna make sure you guys can't pick them. Terminator starting with the Mirana in this game. Probably the guy as Mirana. She played amazing on the Lina. I think MVP of game one. What do you think?
I think the same as well. But I really love it how they have like these respect bans because it's nice to see that they do respect how well they played. They can show it. I like your Sand King was really good. Your Spectre was really good. We definitely don't want to fight it again. And there's the Abaddon that comes out.
Interesting. I was kind of thinking that game one was a really good Abaddon game. Game two, it's still a decent counter towards the Mirana. Arrow lands on anyone, 5 seconds, shield comes out, suddenly it's not useful at all. So that is
10
nice.
seconds remaining.
But it's very early to pick an
Radiant
Abaddon.
team
If they might pick something with a break and a silence, then that could just crush the hero. Viper in particular is amazing as Abaddon because if you break him and then you silence him with anything, he cannot actually get his ultimate off.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, if you're silenced if Abaddon's silence is broken, his
10
ultimate does not turn on
seconds
automatically. You have to press it, and if you're broken and silenced, you
5
can't press it,
seconds
so you
remaining.
can't actually use it.
Oh, I actually did not know that. That's very interesting.
That's why I'm here. That's my benefit.
The analysis exist. Analyst? Yes, that's the one. Analyst.
It took us a few tries, but we got there in the end.
Some words are just so hard, man.
But yeah, if Abaddon is broken, his ultimate does not turn on automatically, so you can break and stun him or break and silence him, and both of them are really good counters. I know because they happened to me like yesterday, and I was like, come on! I'm telling you guys, it's broken! The spell's broken!
I love the Void Spirit pick though. I always love to watch a Void Spirit game because the skills are so flashy and it's a perfect hero to just style on people, you know what I mean? It's like you just jump in and press all your spells and it looks flashy and cool.
And
just,
he's kind of like a cool anime kind of guy, when he
Yeah.
does that, like the Astros. Look at the way he stands with the hand and
Totally.
one foot, like one of those old
Radiant
samurai
team
kind of
back.
guys. He's a pretty cool guy. And Slara comes out. All right, so Abaddon feels even better right at this point because the shield can remove two long duration stuff, either the Mirana stun or the amplified damage from Slardar.
Yeah, I'm very interested by the Slaughter pick because I mean, if I were playing in a pub
10
and I saw an
seconds
Abaddon
remaining.
as like a first pick, I don't think I would pick Slardar because it's just you
5
feel so
dire
empty when
team
your
back.
ulti just keeps getting purged or it's
To be
just
fair,
not
though,
fun.
To be fair, though, during the laning stage, if Abaddon, one of the things about him is that he sort of serves as a buffer. He can stand in front of his carry. Even if you pick like something like a Drow Ranger, he's really good to stand in front of them, just so like a shield. But Slar doesn't care. Slar is like, oh, you want to fight one-on-one? All right, I'll just literally crush your brains with
That
one
is
hit.
true.
So
that is very true.
another thing is that if Abaddon, like if he's near the Slar can stun him, follow up by Mirana arrow. They can bring him down.
10
So
seconds remaining.
that's a bit worrisome.
Yeah, I mean it's also would be kind of a
5
tough lane if you're
seconds
able
remaining.
to stack that, the what is it, the crush on
The bash is, I think it was called Slithering Bash. I mean, there's a Slithering Crush.
Yeah, the Slithering Crush is the stun, I think, and
Yeah,
the
but
bash. Yeah, if you're able to stack that and the arrow, it's kind of hard to just like try to run away. You're kind of stuck there for at least like I'd say 4,
Radiant
5,
team
6 seconds.
another thing that you have to think about is now, does Marci, my waifu, want to go with a melee hero and Abaddon can just shield them every time they're stunned? Or a ranged hero and Abaddon will be in the front sort of taking the brunt of the damage? And that's like two different approaches because they could go for something like a Drow Ranger,
10
and that might
seconds
be like,
remaining.
the lane might be okay for the Drow, but the Abaddon will really suffer. Or they can go
5
for a melee
seconds
hero
remaining.
like Lifestealer, who will be kind of fine, but if they get stunned, the Abaddon's there to save them. So who's going to be in the front and who's going to be at the back?
Yeah. Also, if you look at the Terminator's banner, it's an Axie. Have you ever played Axie before?
Is that the new? Oh, is that the new thing? The
Yeah,
Axie
it's like
Infinity, I think.
it's like a play to earn game.
And have you played it?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. I know a friend who played it, and he's like, I think he's pretty good at it. Maybe he's earning money from it, but I don't get it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. One of my friends who she was
Dire
also
team
playing in
ban.
FSL.
Mm.
She's now doing Axie and she's doing great.
Awesome. Tell her to teach us. Like I would like to have. I like the idea of having money. I'm one of those people who thinks money is
Dire
good.
team pick.
And Marci, they are banning. They banned out the TA as well as and Troll World gets banned out by Terminator. So we are down. We're done with the second stage of bans. Who are they going to go with? Marci, my waifu. They're going to reveal something here, but then Terminator will have to reveal 2 other of their picks. So Marci might consider going for a position, a
10
position
seconds
4 hero,
remaining.
not so they don't show too much of their draft.
I really
5
love though
seconds
how
remaining.
well Ligaya played, because
Mm.
I always feel that like a strong pause 4 can really change the game, because it's, to me, pause 4 is like one of the most complicated roles in Dota, because
Yeah.
you're responsible for so much ganking. I mean, you also have to do the wards. You got to just be everywhere, and you just got to be aware 100% of the time. It's not like you're just gonna sit and farm, or you just have to keep being on the move. And so these pause 4s, they've been doing great. I mean, our Razor, who was on the Razor last game? Was it Minky?
Rubik, you mean?
I mean, yeah, sorry, Rubik.
Yeah,
Minky, was
Minky.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she also played really well. She was stealing a lot of important
Radiant
spells.
team pick.
So, ooh, the Venge.
An interesting thing, because Venge could be a support, could be the off lane, because we have seen that Aghanim Scepter off lane Vengeful Spirit being played.
Mhm.
And she also provides us with another save. We're kind of talking like game 1. I feel like these were the supports you need in
10
game 1
seconds
against all those
remaining.
stuns. So that's
Right.
interesting that Marci Marifu gets them now.
5
Abaddon
seconds
shows Vengeful
remaining.
Spirit, really good saves against those heroes. But Terminator could consider going for, I feel like a spirit that can chase is really good, like an Ember Spirit in particular, who...
Radiant team pick.
What are they going to go with? They go with the Ogre, alright, standard.
Standard, indeed. 2
That's
heads
gonna
are
be-
better than 1.
I think Ogre's probably had the funniest lines.
He does.
I love when I play with him and he's like, "What comes after 2?" Like,
10 seconds remaining.
he's just the best.
Pure skill, Ogre, this hero.
5 seconds.
I think I
remaining.
like that Valve tried to do this sort of the similar thing with Jakiro with the 2 hits, but it just doesn't feel like it matters. Like it's like, oh, okay, Jakiro has 2 hits, whatever. Ogre's a funny guy.
Yeah, because Ogre just he's a bit of a dummy, While Jakiro, he sounds a bit intellectual. I mean, the voice of them both. I mean, Ogre's like he's like high pitched voice, and saying all these fun stuff. But Jakiro's like, ooh, I'm a big scary dragon with 2 heads. Fear
Dire
me,
team pick.
Chen.
Ooh.
Ooh. Now we don't know what the hell's going on, do we?
I'm ready
Chen
for the
comes up.
circus.
Chen comes out. This kind of throws the whole draft to a bit of a loop for Terminator, because is it like 5 Chen, 4
10
Mirana,
seconds
and
remaining.
Ogre is a core in one of the lanes? Or is it like
5
Chen is a
seconds
core?
remaining.
Is it Mirana mid, and then you have Ogre
Radiant
Magi and Chen
team
as the
back.
supports or something?
Weaver.
Marci Marifu goes with the Weaver, though. By the way, another potential save with the Aghanim Scepter on the Weaver, meaning that, like, Terminator's going to have a hard time bringing people down if Marci, my wife, was, they're awake at the moment they jump.
Dire team ban.
That is true, but the Weaver, you think that's I mean, I guess if it is a 3 Vengeful Spirit, that might be a 4 Weaver, but if it's a safe lane Weaver, it probably won't be getting the Ags with it.
It seems like Terminator believes it's going to be some sort of off-lane Weaver, because they are banning the Drow Ranger.
Oh.
So that's their
10
read of the
seconds
game. And
remaining.
Weaver and Vengeful Spirit, not the tankiest 2
seconds
people to
remaining.
have in the lane. Like, if you catch the Weaver, kind of dead, with anything. You already have an Ogre Magi, so another stun might be able to get them the kill they need. Maybe a Sven for Terminator's side wouldn't be so bad.
Oh yeah, Sven. Oh my gosh, what's the worst was that Sven
Radiant team
meta,
ban.
where you're just seeing the Superman Svens all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I could not deal.
I love when you get Lotus Orb. When you get the first time, I was like, all right, if he stuns me, I'll stun him back. And he stuns me and he dispels it. And you're like,
Oh
what?
my, yep.
That's how it
Actually, the
works.
10
But yeah,
seconds
let's see.
remaining.
I do think that
Dire
Sven would be
team
good for
back.
Terminator, because it gives you all that bonus armor as well. They are up against bugs as well as Vengeful Spirits. Wave of Terror. Both of these reduce armor by quite a bit. So if you're a Terminator side, you might want it. Marci, my waifu, could also use this Sven simply because one, they need frontline. The heroes they have not so good.
10 seconds remaining.
You know, they go forward, they're basically dead. Sven with the armor, good against the Slardar, can actually take the hits.
Remaining.
I feel like Sven's gonna be the
Radiant
premium pick
team
for either.
pick. Dire
I like
team
that
pick.
premium pick. Ooh, Ricky.
Alright, well that's their carry. So I just wonder how Terminator is gonna draft this. That is gonna be interesting. With like let's see, I played a game recently where there was a support. Oh yeah, today I actually played a game with a support oracle. No, sorry, a mid lane oracle. I was like support oracle, a mid lane oracle, and we won, but
5
just
seconds
barely.
remaining.
Oh, I mean, it does sound kind of scary. I mean, that Oracle. What's the skill with the big nuke? That's just
Purifying
really
Flame.
Oh yeah, that one. Oh my gosh, so pain. And it's got such a low cooldown as well.
And he went with like 3 null talismans. So you're like, oh great. And I was Necrophos, so I had the worst matchup.
Oh yeah.
Because I go Shroud, he removes it. I ulti, he saves. At one point I was like, let's see if it comes out as the last pick. So no Sven. I was kind of really banking on a Sven coming out for one point. All right, so the main key is on the Vengeful Spirit. So it's a 4 Vengeful Spirit. It's going to be the carry Weaver, the off lane, Bloodseeker, and of course the 5 Abaddon. G is the carry. So it's going to be the 5 Chen. And it's going to be... Is that the mid Ogre Magi? It's going to be the mid Ogre Magi.
Oh, that's exciting.
I hope he goes for Midas. That is... All right, everybody. FSL bringing you the mid Ogre Magi. And I find that kind of crazy.
I mean, there's 2 really fun picks here. I mean, it's the mid Ogre and the Chen. I don't often see games with Chen, so I'm just excited to see how it's going to work out. I'm
excited to see how the Ogre Magi get a Midas, and you know when you got the Fire Blast, the Aghanim Scepter, the Unrefined Fire Blast, you just throw 2 of them in a row. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, what is your like predicted item build for this Ogre? I can't even imagine really, but
it has to be something like a Midas, Aether Lens, Blink Dagger, Aghanim, something like that. I hope he goes for she goes for the Blink Dagger. You can get Arcane Blink on Ogre Magi, and like that removes so much cooldown when you blink in.
Yeah, that's so funny again with the he she. It's just so like I'm so used to even if the hero is a girl, I'll just say she. But you know, if it's a boy, I'll usually say he. But you know, they're all we got all a bunch of wonderful ladies here. So
again, it is wonderful. We want to thank Intel and Yahoo for making this tournament possible. I'm always excited when I see these tournaments that are, you know, like, oh, this is, you know, a woman-only tournament, or sometimes when they have a ranking only, like, oh, this is an ancient tournament. I kind of like that because it's different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not the same old. I mean, it's great when you see all the best teams and like, oh, it's Nigma versus Team Secret. That's great, but sometimes you want to see something just a little bit different, and it's awesome of FSL to bring that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's also nice because, you know, like those all same rank tournaments, there's no like stomps. It's just, you know, even fight for everyone. While, you know, some of these tournaments that are like all random ranks, there can be some teams that just completely destroy others.
Yeah, it's like when you get the worst draw. It's like, all right, guys, I know we're legend. We're gonna go and have fun. You get like the mortal top 1,000 against the enemy on the enemy side. Like, well. It's gonna be a short day of Dota for us then.
Oh my gosh, Xiaoma said, "Yeah, it's just so fun watching the banter in chat." Sana all
these players actually were talking in the lobby. They were like, "Oh, yesterday we played with each other. I was with you on your. We won this game." And now they're playing against each other. Like, oops.
Aww, it's so wholesome. It's also really nice because it's just so fun to see like a collective of girls, you know, all playing together. When you know, when I'm in my rank games, the feeling of when there's another girl on my team, I just get so happy. But like, I don't want to freak them out because I'll get really excited, you know. But then, it's just like it's so wholesome.
What about? Do you feel the same way about them if they turn out to be bad, or is it like if you're bad, I don't really care. I don't care what gender you are.
Yeah, you know? No. If they're a girl, I don't really care how they play. I'm just happy that they are playing because I think it's hard for some girls in the gaming scene getting really like discouraged with you know, some toxicity. But
Dota toxicity? What are you talking about?
Uh-huh.
And look. And now Minky thinks this is Tinder. It's not Tinder. This is Dota. You gotta... Alright, there we go. So the mid ogre Magi against the void spirit. Should be kind of. I mean, I don't think either one of them is gonna be able to kill the other. Like by the time Ignite even lands on Meredy, should be able to. Well, okay, Fire Blast might not, but nice Ignite. Yeah, Meredy should be able to do pretty well. I'm gonna look at the difference in terms of damage here. It's 60 damage on the Void Spirit and 54 on the Ogre Magi, so a bit favored for the Void Spirit there. The Void Spirit just has better spells blasting with.
Yeah, it's just interesting also because like Ogre doesn't have very high base damage, I guess, compared to a Void Spirit. I mean, you only have the 4 extra base damage, but in the early laning stage, it kind of feels like it does make a bit of a difference.
And another thing is that the Resonant Pulse is just really good for catching those creeps. But Ogre Magi's Fire Blast is a bit more of an animation, and Ignite is just garbage.
Garbage. Strong words.
Well, I mean, for hitting creeps, yeah, I think it kind of is. I mean, at least for getting the last hit, you know, no, you don't want to get that with Ignite.
Right, just garbage. A nice pull by Minky.
That courier is gonna make it out. Very nice. Minky got a little bit lucky there with the pathfinding. So we've talked a little bit about the teams. What do you think about late game? Do you have any? Do you favor either team?
It's really hard to say because I feel like Ricky late game is pretty scary. I mean, you're invis all the time when you get that like dataless or high damage items. It's really just pain, and he's so agile with all the the blink strike. You just jump everywhere. It's hard playing against these like high movement and escape potential heroes, but you also have a Weaver who literally moves at like max speed when Shikuchi is maxed out. So
yeah. Actually, when you talk about Minky, that's too violent. We don't want to show anyone dying. We are a Minky's actually gonna live. We're joking with you guys. I do think it's gonna be pretty hard for them to lock down the Ricky. Like, who actually locks him down? You can rupture him, yes. He can't move as much, but like you said, a lot of his movement isn't actually walking.
You see that Ligaya going in, but jumping out. Just some cheeky pokes, and they both salve up. Yeah, it's hard to say who's gonna catch this Ricky. I mean, but there's the arrow, and see, this is exactly what I was talking about. You just go, oh my god! Our starter goes down first. Oh wow!
Huge.
That's big. I mean, it's what I was talking about. You're just gonna be like stuck standing still as an Abaddon between all those stuns, all the bashes. But our Abaddon, that was a trade.
Oh dear, and it's like Ogre Magi, he's taking a few hits. He's a big chunky boy, but Meredy shows mercy this time. A few hits coming out from the tower with the Fire Blast. But to be fair, we thought the Abaddon was gonna die first. It turns out no, the Slar died first, giving first blood to the Weaver and making that trade very bad for the Radiant side.
Yes, very true. It's fun seeing what this Chen does. It's like, Chen is just such an interesting hero to me because, I don't see it very often, so it's just fun seeing the potential and capabilities of it.
I'm not a Chen player because controlling more than 2 things seems like a hassle. I find it very, very odd that she is taking the enemy ranged creep because it denies them the experience and goal of killing it. And the creep isn't exactly, an amazing creep to have on your side. It's literally just a bit of right click. If someone in chat can tell me why you would take the enemy range creep, I'd love to know, because I mean, am I crazy or is that like a legitimate tactic?
Yeah, I mean, with denying that XP and the gold, I don't know. Yeah, I wonder as well.
Because you can go in and get like the ghost, the girl ghost. She slows, so that's nice. You get a little bit of slow out of that. You can get. I don't think you can get all the creeps at level 1. There might be limitations. Bings, you're in trouble.
The blink strike, but Minky is being the bodyguard, keeping G away. Ooh, Xiaoma is down. That's what we were talking about. The Gaia getting poked, but she got the magic stick charge. The bash onto Keizo. It's looking a bit rough.
Keizo.
Oh, and another bash. Very well played.
And not only that, but they also got a nice observer ward out of that. But by accident, she planted the sentry ward to catch the Weaver, and she's like, "Oh, you guys had a late ward. That's the best thing ever." So
that's such a good feeling.
Dota just really enjoying life right now, and Xiaoma teleports mid, but shields herself instead of shielding the enemy. And Meredy actually takes the full ignite damage, so a little bit of miscommunication coming out from the dire side here.
She got a nice bottle refill though, you know. Bit of extra health and mana for herself.
And Radiant looking very strong this game. Terminator, I mean, based on the first 5 games, sorry, for first 5 minutes, it does feel like their draft is just better. You know, they're winning. The top lane is going really well. Mid lane, he isn't actually out farming Meredy by anything, but once she gets the Midas, you're sort of on a timer. Because Ogre Magi with the Midas, she's like, I'm just gonna farm twice as fast as you.
Ooh, the 2 astral steps doing quite a bit of damage. Hee. Gonna walk back home, it looks.
Does have the bloodlust, and not using it to sort of walk there faster and back. Come on, you have a bloodlust. Still no, by the way, she said the tier 3, still no bloodlust. That's 7% faster movement speed.
It's like being a Grimstroke and walking back with Inkswell.
Right? I mean,
just the little things make a big difference.
The thing is, it's not, maybe the animation is like so long, but it's not really that long. It's like half a second. I think you save more time than you would. Well, why are we criticizing? We're just casting them, you know? If we were good, we'd be playing. You especially, this is your tournament.
That is true. Oh, the astral step to walk in, and then she resonant pulses to get that little kill on Shed.
DOTA is alone by herself, which means that she can't actually handle the lane without the Mirana, making sure she pokes back, and Minky loses her life. Looks like the stun still lands on the Ricky, and Ricky's only level 4, but so there's no invisibility ability. G, dead here, they have vision and wings. Loving life right now.
Loving life. Yeah, it's also pretty hard playing against the Bloodseeker in lane. You have that Blood, right, which is a huge, like, AoE silence. Oh, the stun onto Kazel. They're not gonna go further. They have the Corrosive Haze as well, so that's pretty nice to put on Kazel because you can see her, but then they have the Dispel from Abaddon, so just a bit of an awkward situation you got there.
And they're putting Minky in the mid lane just so she can get some extra EXP, get that fast level 6, while the Void Spirit roams around the map making space for the team. Void Spirit is in the base right now, so I wonder where she's going to go. Might just TP back mid to farm it.
I'm excited for our Venge to get her Ags, because it's always so much fun when you see just, you know, the Venge die, but she's not really dead, and she's actually even stronger because she has that 12% extra movement speed.
I like that because it fits the theme of her actually being vengeful. You know?
Yeah.
Like you killed me, alright, I'll come right back with most movement speed. And I miss the days when she didn't have a life bar, so people didn't know that she was actually like an actual illusion hero that you have to kill. People, she looked like she just walked around like a monkey king tree. So people think, oh, I can't actually hit her. So I'm glad that was changed. I mean, I miss it, but I'm also glad it was changed because it didn't go very well when it was against me. Kazel, you should be careful here.
The bugs, very annoying to deal with. Just gonna try to walk away and hit them at the same time.
Yeah,
That's just such a pain in the butt thing to deal with, is the bugs. And once he gets that shard, it's really good against the Ricky.
Shard in particular, this game might be really good because I think it reveals invisible people, and that's really good against the Mirana. Oh,
ooh, there's the connect of the stun and the arrow with the bash. Oh, but the shield comes off just briefly, but it's not enough to save our Abaddon.
I don't think Abaddon can actually go top. Like going top, we talked about this during the draft. We said if they pick a ranged carry, Abaddon's gonna suffer because he's gonna have to be in the front to take in all the hits, and that's what's happening. She's taking all the hits.
Looks like she's gonna go down by Ignite though. Look at all that damage. She really is. Oh my gosh, mid ogre putting in the work.
Yeah, Ogre. She's got one Null Talisman max Ignite, and there you go. It's an insane amount of damage. Actually, it's 400 damage without a multicast. Multicast is good. Double it.
Oh, that's some quick math.
Oh, I actually taught math for a certain part in my life.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And I also studied aircraft engineering, so there's a bit of math around that as well.
Oh, wow.
Dire's top tower.
And it was used perfectly for gaming.
Yeah, because the first plane I worked on was MH370.
I totally know what plane that is.
Alright, remember that plane that disappeared?
Oh my goodness.
Yep, that was one of mine.
Oh
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
no. Well,
Radiant's
we got a
structures
Tumblr
are
Stoic coming
fortified.
out. One of my favorite neutrals. It's really fun when you're playing Legion. You get a Tumblr Stoic, you know. Get extra close for those duels. Oh, and
Oh,
there's
that's a big TP.
Moonlight Shadow coming up. The bugs are out. It does not connect. Oh wait, it does connect onto the Vicky. Oh, the Rupture is used onto Hee. The stun's coming out from DOTA. Bings running away. She got that shield and the extra heals from our Xiaoma. Ooh, and Xiaoma and Bings will both go down.
And again, they just like don't really have the lockdown. Voice Spirit wasn't around for this fight as well. And like when the Ricky can just jump around as much as he wants. Magic Missile, he can dodge that, so she can dodge that easily. And it's a problem. I'm not really sure what the solution is for. Do you want to get some Rod of 8 tosses? You could on the Bloodseeker, that might help.
Yeah, I think map awareness is going to be extra important this game. When you have MLS and people are just coming out of nowhere, you have to have those extra wards. You know, you just have to be on top of it.
They need to get Xiaoma to level 6 just so she can go in the lane and just like tank hits as much as she wants. Because Minky dies as well. He getting another kill on that Ogre magic. The mid Ogre coming to your pubs real soon. Actually has the minus coming out very soon with 50 gold.
Coming to your pubs real soon.
I don't know. With very different results, by the way. You know, it's not gonna be this,
Exactly.
one of my favorite things was I was watching one of these ESL tournaments last year, and I think it was Boom Esports. They were picking the position 5. Oh, Arrow does land on Xiaoma. And Verdi, that's not where you want to be, but walks out, goes down and walks back up. The Gaia might be losing her life. Verdi does not have any mana though, so please be careful.
DOTA chasing after Meredith. Oh, purging the ulti.
Good
This
stun.
Corrosive Haze is just going to be very hard to keep on someone for a long time, even with that Dispel. Ooh, Kazel with a double kill.
Sensing a pattern here.
Kazel definitely a lot better this game than the previous game. At least having a better game than he did with the.
Rupture onto our DOTA. And Bash. She's just going to stand in that stance. I think there's definitely no way she's going to run out of that. That's a very hard decision for some people to make, is, you know, do I stand and fight and die, or do I try to run away but probably die, you know?
Yeah, probably hoping for her team to show up in time just to, you know, I'll die, but at least we can get something back.
Right.
Kazel having a much better game, but look at he level 11, 12 and a half minutes.
And that Midas only gonna make the XP gain and the gold gain much faster from here. Oh, the swap is out and the silence as well with the stun avenge, and that's a bit of overextending, I feel. With
For sure.
all their 4 heroes behind that tower. Actually,
Not
all those
really,
5 heroes.
not really showing the respect to the enemy side that you think. And what is Bloodseeker going for? I think Bloodseeker is going for a Yules. Has the Void Stone, I mean, that is another form of lockdown, right? I mean, it's not exactly the same, but at least you can remove someone out of the fight. That might help.
Yeah, and you get that extra mana regen from the Void Stone. It's not, you know, it's not the worst.
Alright, we have an even game at the 30-minute mark. The guy getting that stun ready, wants to land on Kazel, comes out, but looks like it's not gonna. Just
Does
a
not
little bit too late.
connect. What does our zoo currently consist of? We have a Centaur, an Ogre Frost Mage.
Ooh, the 8 armor is pretty good though. Oh, is this still 8 armor? I want to click on it. It's
5.
5? That's
Is
just
5!
5? I mean, I remember when it was 8. That was like armor. 5 armor, that's still pretty good. I mean, it does give you 25% slower.
Oh, there's a stun from our Sardar with the Corrosive Haze. He's taking down Minky. Consistent poking, and there's the Astral steps in. Both of them are used. Then is the Resonant Pulse is used as well. Will they chase some more? They still have the Aether Remnant. Possibly catch them in DOTA. Oh, our mid is stunned. Our Voice Spirit is just locked down by the Fire Blast and the arrow. Connecting perfectly. They're gonna go for more. G is going in with the Blink Strikes. And now Tricks of the Shade. Xiaoma's ult is popped. Bloodlust coming off as well. And our Xiaoma is just gonna fall. It's really hard when you have a Bloodlusted Solardar. I mean, all those bashes. I didn't even think about how painful that
Dire's
would
middle
be.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, right, you're right. I, mean, I also was like, oh, he hits really fast because it doesn't matter.
Dire's
Just
middle tower
landing all those
has
hits that
fallen.
she needs, and keeping people controlled. I'm not sure how I feel about Jianma actually activating the borrowed time just now. She was manually activated, and I think you could have like let yourself go down to low HP. Maybe you'll be close to the tower, then it would activate. And there you go, Ogre Magi not getting the multicast on the Midas, unfortunately.
What a bummer.
Dire's
By the way,
top
I remember
tower is
people
under
before they would say because it
Radiant's
was
bottom
pseudo
tower,
random, the
Dire's
multicast,
top tower
they were
has
like
fallen.
tactics. They're like, oh, make sure you use it on a creep, like use ignite on a creep, then use the Midas to increase your chances. Now it's like doesn't really matter. You go then.
Oh, interesting. The bug's coming out next to the Gaia and Dota. They're gonna try to take this bottom tower, which is good to open up the map for their Weaver.
Yeah, but unfortunately they got the Yules as well as the magic missile at the same time, so Yules coming out
Stun
defensive.
coming out. Oh, but there's the 2 steps in. And the 8th Remnant connects with Simulate. Dota is so tanky, he's just gonna have to get Rusty to go down. He's TP'd in, stunned with Ignite, and a lot of the deep damage over time is gonna be done.
Dire's top
Meredith
tower
gonna
is
try to
under
run
attack.
away. Oh, but we do have the Aphotic Shield. The swap is used as well. Stun onto the Gaia. Oh, Dota just manning up here, or womaning up. She is just going hard. Another bash. Borrowed time. She's gonna run away now. The stuns.
Dire's top tower is
Very
under attack.
well done. A lot of the stunts. I'm very impressed by the way Dota is playing. Just completely, even last game, just womaning
Dire's
up
middle
in
tower
all
is under
situations.
attack.
Just, And I love the spirit of Davai, you just dive.
I like how the guy was like, guys, ladies, should I go to the tier 4? Is it too early? Like, yes, it's too early. Not now, we can do that later. But yeah, Wodota in game 1 with the Sand King was great.
Dire's
Now
bottom
she's also
tower is
showcasing that
under
with a
attack.
Slardar. She seems to be really proficient with these frontline, tanky, stunning offlaners. I imagine maybe Centaur would also be another hero she's very familiar with. And it's like suits her style,
Strong.
Ooh,
Strong and
Philosopher's
brave.
Stone.
Oh, the money rock. Gotta love it.
That's the best one. That is the best one. Especially if you're like a disruptor.
Oh,
and they give you
yeah.
You're like, thank you for this item. It's the best.
That is the best. Yeah, when you're like just a pause 5 who does absolutely zero like right clicks, or being like a Skyrat, you're not gonna smack anyone. And you get that extra mana too, which is really nice.
Oh,
There's
Java.
the stun, and the bash is so painful. Like half the health is taken out. The borrowed time comes off on its own, and there's Xiaoma is gone.
And so is Minky. And they even took the Observer Ward that she planted. So things are looking really good if you're a Terminator fan.
Radiant's
Have you actually seen any of the
structures are
Terminator
fortified.
movies, by the way?
I've seen like one of them, but it was so long ago. I really don't remember anything.
Well, the only really good ones is Terminator 2. That's like the classic. The rest are all, it's kind of like when they make a sequel and you're like, I didn't even know it could be this bad. Oh,
Ooh, Meredy chasing, but Dota is there to save her friend. Oh my gosh. They just perfectly stack these stuns and arrows. MLS, what's up? Meredy. Ooh, but finds our Ligaya, and they both exchange their lives.
the biggest kill was getting Hehe, the most farmed hero on the game. So in the game, in the mid lane. So that's the thing they
Dire's top
needed.
tower is
So
under
Marci and my
attack.
wife was striking back, still a little behind, but they do have an advantage of numbers if they can find someone. They know this. They smoke up. Who they walk into? They walk into Dota. Get the stun off. Can they get more? No. Nice swap back into the Bloodright, but
They don't
Seems
have
like-
Rupture, so they don't have much chase potential here.
if you go for the Chen, and maybe that might be the easier kill that they can actually get.
They could, but G is coming in. She's just on the side, ready. Dota going in with a big stun, bashing. But Sasha May just gonna TP out because
Oh, dear.
that's what you can do in front of a Weaver. The stun comes off onto our Slardar. Our Ricky is going in, but will not continue. Minky looking a little yummy. She's got the point booster, so the Ags might take a bit of time. I'd say maybe give it till like 25, 27 minutes.
Well, and just Ricky versus Weaver. Ricky's already like three levels ahead. It's only 1,000 gold, but Ricky just feels so much harder to pin down. They just do not have that on the Dire side. Void Spirit with the Agams will help for sure, because you get that nice silence, and that will help you bring control people a little bit. But
Yeah, I mean, the Diffusal Blade onto Ricky as well. If you get those hits off onto the Weaver, it's going to be really hard to try to survive from anything. I mean, each hit is about 40 mana, right? And so you hit Weaver, like, let's say, okay, do the maths here. You hit him like 5 times, and he already can't use his time lapse. Plus, he's going to be Shikuchiing in the middle of everything. So I feel like this Weaver might have a bit of amount of problems if this Ricky can get on top of him.
I think you have to hit him close to like 15 times to completely burn his mana. Actually, to burn her mana though, and she does. She's gonna go for the BKB, so she's gonna avoid the mana burn. She does have the Falcon Blade. Oh, I was like, it doesn't give you much. She actually has no items that give her mana. It's kind of crazy how that works. Oh well, she does have the magic wand, and you just use the time lapse, and you should be okay. Like I'm worried less about the diffusal mana burn. I'm worried more about the slow. If you slow them inside the smoke screen, then Weaver won't be able to actually use the time lapse. That's the biggest problem,
Right.
which we saw work just now.
But she's got that BKB queued up next, so I think she'll be all right.
That is a fast. What's it? Oh, she's going for the Dagon.
Oh my
Cool.
gosh! So wait,
The
does the Dagon have multicast? Oh, it does.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, every offensive
Radiant's
item
bottom tower
has
is under
multicast,
attack.
and every defensive item doesn't.
I
So you can get
see.
multiple Yules, multiple Hexes, multiple Midases,
Ethos.
but you never get multiple Force Staffs.
Oh, and there's a big stun by Wodora onto 2 heroes.
Oh,
The
man.
arrow does not connect his wings, but the Rupture is used onto Wodora. Wings will just be frozen in between 3 heroes. You got 3 stuns on those heroes.
And
With
Minky
the
down in
bash.
the top lane as well. Not yet though.
There's a Fire Blast onto the Weaver. Arrow does not connect either. The Purge is off. Oh, Dota getting into that big stun, but the time lapse is used. The Borrowed Time is popped as well, and Shama is gonna just get poked to death. MLS is popped as well. Merity gonna try to
Radiant's middle
maybe salvage the
tower is
fight a
under
bit.
attack.
Another odd use of Bird Time. She was full HP and she used it. I understand that she was stunned before she used it.
Oh
Not
my-
here.
Whoa, Dota! Just, wow, amazing. She sees the opportunity, she takes a clutch, she will go down for that. But I'd say that's not so bad. I mean, you're taking a pause 1 for a pause 3. Hee. Gonna just run away, but the stun is coming off. Oh my gosh, Minky is gonna go down from this as well. So much damage, and Merity! Oh my goodness!
I think even if you trade like that, you're saying it's a pose 1 for a pose 2, but I mean they are more fun than. Oh,
That
God.
is true, our World Dota is really fast.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So, well, Miro does have the Spirit Vessel. Not the best Spirit Vessel game against both the Weaver as well as Abaddon, but I don't think you really need to care that much about it because you are so far ahead. And Terminator looking like it's going to take the series 2-0 at this point.
I mean, Terminator has done such a great job in both games of absolutely like just using their momentum, and they're like haven't stopped with the flow of their own game. Like they haven't really got sidetracked. They put consistent pressure on the enemy team.
I mean, it all comes down, I think, to Wodota. The way she's able to sort of go in and out of fights, be that shield for the team. And that's something that really helps. You know, when you have someone who's like, all right, go, play with me, just go with me. And I'm sure she's the one who's in charge of that.
Right. Yeah, she's even like low health, just jumping in there.
It's like, Asta, you avenge me, comrades. I'll go in.
Wow, and another connect of the stun and the swap to save the Bloodseeker, but looks like it might not, unless Hazel comes in with the bugs and she assigns the Diffusal Blades used on Hazel also, but Things does not make it out alive. Merity is getting chased as well. The arrow does not connect, and it looks like, oh, our Wodota is stuck a bit with the 8th remnant. What?
Would have been great if she just got pulled up to the high ground, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, that's not what I wanted.
No force
But-
staffs to do that.
But either way, it is the map is getting very small, you know, for Marci, my waifu.
It is.
They know that someone's here.
MLS is popped. They're gonna go for Minky unless they find Merity in the crossfire. Could they
I
go
feel-
for both? Yes, they do exactly that. The arrows, the guy has been landing so many arrows this game. Way more than my pubs. Like, You know, I have a Mirana and I want to cry because usually it's just arrows flying everywhere, hitting nothing but creeps. But the guy is doing an absolutely amazing job of just landing him on kills.
Oh dear. Oh wait, wait.
There's the rupture on poor Ricky with the bugs and the dust. So we can see our Ricky might be in trouble, but what do we love to say? Just TP.
It's the same problem they had in game 1, by the way.
Yeah, the lack of disables and stuns.
I mean, in this game, you only got 2 guys who can actually stop TPs, which is the Void Spirit and the Vengeful Spirit. The others, they're like, I'll yell at them. They do that like the high five as the enemy TPs away.
Yeah, I mean, you have the Yules and the Bloodseeker, but that's a 23-second cooldown like way to stop the TP. It's not that efficient. It's just a heal where you just have another stun. We have lags on low DOTA.
That person is vulnerable for 2.5 seconds, and by that time their allies might show up to, they're like, oh, I kind of saved them with my Yusuf.
Right.
It's not ideal. However, this is one of the things that if you are playing in pubs, you can do is you spam the high five button, and sometimes people, when you're on the low ground, they're on the high ground. Oh dear.
There's a stun in from Wodota, and our Ricky is just eating people alive. You have that Manta style. And Wodota's gonna go in there. Oh my gosh, you see how much damage Xiaoma took on that initial blink strike? That is just so painful.
Corrosive Haze, and Ricky's just doing what, like 160 damage with extra 44 armor. She's also got the Brigand's Blade, so that adds like what, 80 damage at maximum. It's pretty good.
They're just gonna siege now.
I guess the only way to come back if you are Marci, my waifu, is to swap someone in and kill them before the rest can like back them up. That's really your only chance.
Getting those mini pickoffs until they can, get some items that really have a good team fight. I mean, look at our Ogre though. You have the level 2 Dagon already. I'm excited to see her just zap people. How much damage is like the total of her 3 skills? The Dagon, the Ignite, and the Fire Blast.
Wait, let's see. So, Dagon is what, 600, then you have another 400, so that's 1,000, so it's 1250 if no multicasts.
Alright, and the stun comes onto Ricky, and so does the Rupture. Aether Remnant doesn't connect, and our Ricky's just gonna stand there and hit towers. Blood right? Will they go for more? Will they try to fight this? There's the blinking by Wodota, absolutely melting Bings. They're gonna chase for some more. Will they get Xiaoma? Oh, our Ricky might be in a bit of trouble. But she still does have the Aegis. Xiaoma, borrow time is popped already, and Ricky's just gonna try to go for more. Aegis is down. Xiaoma is gonna go down as well. They're in these tier 4 towers. And, oh, the TP does not come off on the Chen. Hazel pops the BKB. Will be able to just run away. Will Merity go for more? Bing's also bought back here, so...
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you go, this might be your best chance to catch a straggler or 2, but you also use buyback, so it's like... I think you might want to go for it in this case, just because if you let them go, next time a 5-on-5 happens, you're still at a big disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should have tried to get something else. I mean, their Chen is dead, people were TPing out. Maybe you could just catch one. Kind of out of resources, but just any pick-off, any chance at, redemption is what they need right now.
Void Spirit is getting close to that Aghanim Scepter. Actually has it. Bloodseeker was going to go for the Ag, but now switching towards the BKB, which is really not what you want, because that's that's 1,200 gold kind of leaving.
Oh, there's Wodota. She sees Bings, and there's the stun coming off with the Corrosive Haze, and instantly bursted with that Dagon. So much damage. It's kind of risky to stay out there, especially after just buying back, so...
I just love the fact that Ogre's got 1,500 gold. Sorry,
I can't
15,000 gold, and she's just...
Prize is mine.
Oh man.
And you get the Psychic Headband on the Ogre too, wow.
I like Psychic Headband a bit more when the stats used to give you like additional, like the intelligence gave you additional magic spell land. Now it's like, now it's like, okay, 16% intelligence, it's... Like, besides Silencer and Skywrath, most heroes don't really care that much for it.
But check out that Dagon range. Oh, there's a stun coming out from Dota again. Just poking Merity. It's nice because she has that Ags. You know, she just has that safe puddle of water you can just sit in. You know, you're a bit fast in that water. You get that extra regen. You don't have to be scared. And it helps you push that tower as well.
Status resistance also is a very nice thing to have with it. Well, 21,000 ahead for Terminator. This team looks like they're gonna go upper brackets. I mean, not upper brackets, sorry, but like past the round drop and group stage. 99%.
I mean, both teams are very strong, but like it's clear that Terminator is just terminating. You know what I mean?
Nice wordplay.
Yeah.
I appreciate the effort. I think you know, it's a little too much. It's good. It's weird to me because both teams are the same ranking. Like their players are all on the same level. Because we compared that during the lobby. Just seems like Marci, my waifu, not sure what their style of gameplay is. No stuns seems to be the thing.
No stuns. I mean that. Yeah, I guess that is true. At least this game there's one more stun than last game. Yep.
Oh my god, they just finished getting the tier 2 items and tier 3 is already available for 3 minutes. That is kind of crazy actually.
Yeah. Oh, you got a nice money rock.
Could have gotten it 12.
Ooh, look at her G. She's going in with double damage and there's Wogoda with the blink in. Stun is on cooldown. And the Raptor comes off. What? The Lotus Orb! So Bings is stuck there as well. Our Void Spirit jumps into Astral Step. Big silence coming off. This is looking pretty good in Dire.
Yeah, they actually ignored the top racks to go for this fight.
Keep going in. Will they chase? She's gonna buy back from Dota. She's gonna just slither all the way down the lane. And Merity just gets deleted by the Dagon. She's got a regenerate on hand as well. The Gaia getting stunned. Silence coming out from Bings. Encore Ogre. And look at that ignite. Oh my gosh, this is so painful. Me going in, diving for our Minky, and they are gonna fight. Oh my gosh, is this considered fountain farming?
It's close, it's on the steps.
Oh my goodness, that Dagon. She's so far from the Abaddon.
And now they decide, they're like, alright, we farmed enough heroes, let's actually get some buildings. And Bloodway throws out another 2-man stun.
That's Minky's axe, so it's not actually her.
Was that?
Just her spirit.
Was that 3-man Dagon just now?
I believe it was.
Dire's top barracks are under
By the way, this is every position 5 ogre's like dream. Oh, there you go.
To be this farm to build these items.
They're like, this is what I always want to do. You want to get the Midas, you want to get the Dagon, do that.
Oh, Merity is back up. Everyone from Merity is back up with all their LTC. Swap goes in onto Hee. He is ruptured as well. The arrow does connect onto Merity, and Hee is so strong. She's unkillable unless Bing is going in to right click. And Hee goes down. Shaman power time is also used. Dota just womaning up, right clicking everyone to death. Those extra bashes doing the work. Oh, the Gaia swapped in and stunned, but GG is called.
And it looks like this one was way more one-sided in game 1. And too many things in 2-0. Looking really strong this series.
Wow. Great game. I'm just amazed like how well the stuns were stacked on top of each other. That the Marana stun, the Stardust stun, the Ogre, they almost always connected. Like you rarely saw it miss.
I just wonder how good other teams have to be if they want to beat Terminator, because I don't really think it's their sort of individual skills, just the way their teamwork is so well. They know exactly how to play with Dota. They make sure that G is always farming. Legaia, like Legaia and Dota are just so good, and he is very creative with that mid pick ogre.
Yeah, and the G is just really like great when it comes to focusing on farming. Like, you know, oftentimes some safe lanes they do get distracted, they'll come to the fight, but she comes to the fight when she gets that extra item. So when she gets that diffusal, she gets a kill, go back to the jungle, or back to the lane to the farm, gets another item, and then rinse and repeat. It's like a very nice cycle, while the rest, the 4 of them, they go off and play with World Dota, creating havoc on the map.
Yeah, I like G. She's like, "Don't rush me, bro."
Yeah.
And, I'll join when I'm good and ready. I'm not gonna join a second before that. But Kazel did feel like she had to do a lot of work. She had to be like in fights very early, and I don't really like the support duo, the Minky the Vengeful Spirit as well as the Abaddon. I feel like that was not enough.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I think it's just hard because you're used to a support. Like, I can imagine, having like an Oracle that like saves someone else more. It just didn't feel like it was enough here.
Yeah. I mean, because they had all the save, but they didn't actually have damage. And at the end of damage or lockdown. Whereas the other team, they had a lot of damage. This was not just the save was never going to be enough. But this is only the first series of the day. Next thing we have Stepsis versus Live to Dive, and I love that you're laughing about the name. I know, I get it too. But we are going to go for a break while we giggle like idiots behind the camera about this. And we will see you guys in a few minutes with Stepsis versus Live to Dive.